Okay. Big man, you wanna hear some hot takes? Let's see how woke you are. You know something about podcasts? Yo, dígame. Good me on one, man. I got these 3 drunk uncles with a sports podcast. They say they got fire takes, pure fuego. You find them wherever you listen to podcasts at. If it's what they say it is, you like and you subscribe. Listen, like, and subscribe, yeah. You know how to call into the show? Yeah, man, do the Podbean app. You'll need headphones with a mic to call in. That's no problem, man. They'll also be at Sharky's, 8:07 p.m. on the first Wednesdays of the month. You may get some free Blue Chew. And they keep receipts, so if anything happens in the sports world, I might just gotta drop a tape faster than a rabbit gets fucked. There's only 3 things I have in this world. My word, my balls, and this podcast. And I don't break them for nobody. MyT Sports Season 7.
I guess that's our cue, isn't it? All right then. So if you want to go big, then say so. Evening and welcome back to another edition of the MyT Sports Podcast. I'm your host, the one and only Untitled Taylor. It is another Fuego day in the hottest city in the world. We're talking about it. It's September 13th. They said we had highs of 90s, lows of 77. Currently, right now, it's about like 80 something degrees. It was going. Oh no. That's just Chill Will and Lou talking over there. But what's going on, Chill Will? What's going on, Lou? I see you guys popping off in the room. How you guys doing today? Yo, you know, as you guys know, we have another big show. This is season 7, episode 4, excerpt 334 of the MyT Sports Podcast. And boy, do we got a lineup for you already. You know, we already have week 1 of the NFL that just popped off. So we have that to go over, right? We have the Rock Nation shining all over the place. I don't even know if I want to talk about that today. I ain't gonna lie. I may have to put it on the back burner. Apparently, somebody put me on to something that I wasn't even aware of. Fsu Kickers? That's a thing? Kickers that come out of FSU. So apparently there's FSU kickers we're gonna dabble into a little bit. Apparently, like, the magic is out in what the fuck. If you're not eating your Wheaties, then apparently you're not trying to get that win informally. Make sure we're gonna talk about eating your W's today. We got the Triller 2 double one piece that was going on. We got our injury report that we're to go over. I don't think I have any birthdays. I don't know if any of my co-hosts have any birthdays for us to go over. So maybe no birthdays so far as I can tell. Right? We got Blue Chew and we have it all. But you guys already know how we do this here, right? How we say this. Regardless of the time.
Take that.
And regardless of the weather.
You play to win the game. Hello?
Thank you, Coach. It's always a good time to talk some Spurs. Let's stir this shit to mother. Actually, you know, hold on. I got my drink right here. Let's stir this shit the fuck up. So let's start talking. Woo! Back at it like a sports fanatic. MyT Sports. Hey. Welcome back. I hope everybody had a very good weekend. I know my weekend was nice. My weekend was chill. I'm not gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. I realized I kind of missed football. As much shit as I talk, and as much as football has pissed me off, like, over the summer and since the off season, and they kind of just piss me off all the time, right? When the games start, kind of like forget everything for a little while. And I'm sitting there, but it's not the same. Like, I'm not rooting for my teams the same. But you know what? But you know what I definitely had to do? I had to make sure I caught up with the peoples, right? I go met them at one of our local bars. We go have a couple of drinks. We eat some food. We chuck up the chuckness. You know what I mean? We listen to all the fans, and you absorb and absorb all that energy that's being passed around the room and the bar. Like that's what was missed. Is that time that is spent with your peoples? You know what I mean? On football Sunday. You know what I mean? Like the whole entire week has passed. Even some people have sacrificed not going out or not doing certain things for the week just to make sure that when football Sunday came around, you had nothing to do, you had nothing stopping you, you had no excuses, that you were out with your peoples doing the damn thing. And that is exactly what happened. I guess I want to say it was basically happening all around the world in a sense, right? That's almost what's happening to everybody, at least to the people that I know. At least happened to me. Made sure I cleared out the calendar. Right? If I was gonna work that day, work super fucking early. Didn't even lose a breath. Got off of work, came home, took a shower, refreshed myself. Bam, football. Pre-game, post-game, real game, after game, during game, before game. So yeah, in a weird sense, you know what? I did. I did miss football for all the fuckery that goes on. All the fuck me. Like let's go with it. For all of the politics that gets surrounded about football, that makes you not like it at times. When the games are on, you just realize that's when the purity comes, right? Like that's when everything is forgotten. It's almost like the players that start trying to get away. Like when players play, they're trying to get away from like real life if they have something tragic going on. It's kind of like what happens when you watch, right? And you get into like you just kind of forget everything for a little while. And he said, you know what? This is what we gonna do. This is what we gonna do. We got a nice good taste of it on Thursday, but it was a sour taste, right? Like for me, I couldn't really enjoy Thursday. I just seen Tom Brady just do what Tom Brady always does, and what Tom Brady generally does disgust me. Like I can't help it. But then we got to Sunday. We got to yesterday. We got to the meat and potatoes of this shit. You know what I mean? Not that little teaser, not your appetizers. You know what I mean? We ain't get your avocado toast. You're like nah. This was actually sirloin, New York strips. You know what I mean? Omaha, like that kind of shit. You know what I mean? And if you were a Washington fan, you just have to say, like, yo, the initials of your team describes it all. What the fuck? So you know what? You know how we're going to start the podcast off today? We're going to start the podcast off today someplace kind of interesting.
First of all, things first.
The MyT injury report.
Him down.
Folks, man down, pimp down, man down. In a blink of an eye. And you know what? This is why they must call him Fitzmagic, right? Because this was the best disappearing act I have ever seen. This is the quickest disappearing act I have ever seen. Good Lord Almighty. Like, if you know the history, right, of Ryan Fitzpatrick, then a part of you kind of came into this season and was saying to yourself, you know what? We've been down this road with this guy. We've seen this show from this guy before. He has one good year. He earns the right to come back the second year and given a chance. And when he comes back, he just doesn't quite live up to standards. He gets paid, and then he wets the bed. So for most people that thought about Ryan Fitzpatrick this year, they kind of thought that at some point in time, that magic that he had last year was going to fizzle out. And you know what? I partly blame you guys. You guys, like all of you that was thinking that, you guys brought all of your negative juju onto him. And what happened? Game 1. The old man in the room damn near breaks his hip. Like, it don't get no more, like, fitting, and I don't mean fitting in a good way, like karmatic in a sense than that, right? That he would break his hip. The old man in the room breaks his hip and leaves the door for another young stallion to come and take his place. This is the story of this man's career. I mean, like we go from Fitz magic to Fitz tragic, like, real quick. Yeah, nigga, real quick. It doesn't make sense to have the kind of luck that he has had in the National Football League. But I don't want to make you feel too sorry for him. He's had the kind of luck that has kept him paid in the National Football League. You know, kept people coming back just enough to say, like, hey, you know what? I think we're going to start here. I think that we're going to I think we're going to try to give this guy a chance. Like, you know what? We've seen the best of him. I think I can draw that best of him out on a consistent basis. Oh, au contraire, mon frere, you're all wrong. Every single last one of yous. And as you guys know, the Blue Chew Get In hotline is officially open. When you guys are ready to call up, the phone lines are open. I see one of my co-hosts sitting over there, one of my drunk uncles. You know what I mean? One of the drunk uncles. I mean, like me calling him one of my drunk uncles is like Snoop calling Mike Tyson one of his drunk. Like, nigga, we the same age. But one of the drunk uncles I see over there lingered, and I already see lingered in the chat room. So whenever you ready, you can go ahead and call up. And Ryan Fitzpatrick wasn't the first injury that happened this way, or the first significant injury. It's just the one that just made me say, like, damn. Like Kevin Hart when Don Cheadle told him his name. Like, damn. Like what have you done in your lifetime to warrant this kind of luck? Now, am I saying that they would have won this game if Ryan Fitzpatrick would have won? No, I'm just saying that maybe. I mean, this game was 20-16. Yeah, Taylor Finicky came in there and he dropped 11 for 15, 122 yards, right? A quick little touchdown. But Ryan Fitzpatrick probably would have put up 300. Maybe. We don't know. Who's to say he don't catch his groove in the second half? Start slinging that all over the place like he's known to do. Also, for a team in Washington, right? The Washington whatchamacallits, as we like to call them at times. Or as their initials like to indicate, what the fuck. Right? For a team like Washington, what does this do for them? Because they came into this season saying, hey, we got a good run game. We got some aight receivers. We got a spectacular defense. Let's go for gusto. Let's go for broke. Let's go ahead and put all of our chips in this magic hat. Try to get us a veteran quarterback in here and try to win this division. Two times. That's what they said. That's what. But now where does that put them? Because even if you were of the school of thought that Ryan Fitzpatrick was gonna fuck up at some point in time, and that you'll probably be forced to put in Tyler Heineken. I'm just gonna call him what I keep wanting to call him, Taylor Heineken, right? If you wanted to go ahead and put in Heineken, like, it was gonna happen inevitably, like, eventually, but you didn't think it was gonna happen now. So if you're Washington, do you ride this out because you signed Ryan Fitzpatrick? You kept Ryan Fitzpatrick for this reason. So do you go with Taylor, or do you go out and get another veteran quarterback that maybe... What's going on, Dwayne, Tonya, Chill Will? Welcome to the Mighty Sports Podcast. If you guys would like to call into the podcast, don't you forget that the Blue Chew Get In hotline is officially open if you would like to go ahead and call in. So, if you're Washington, do you stick with this plan of let's play the young boy who ain't look bad? Like, he wasn't spectacular, but it's his first game. He wasn't even ready to play. Like, he was over there trying to eat a hot dog. Like, he was pulling a Mark Sanchez. I don't know if he was really pulling a Mark Sanchez. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like, he's sitting on the back. He's on the side chilling. He's watching the game like we were. You know what I mean? He's over there like, yo, can I get some popcorn? Yo, beer over here. Yo, I asked for a beer like 20 minutes ago. What's your problem? Yo, why is there paper in my burger? Like shit like that. Like, these are real things that happened to me while I was out, you know. Like, he was relaxed. Like, he was pulling an A-Ron. Now, not what A-Ron pulled last night, but I'm talking about he was over there with the RELAX. And next thing you know, he's over here like, oh shit, is that his ankle? Oh, he's like, oh, yo, where's my helmet? Oh, I still got cheese dip in here. Fuck it. And he goes out and drops a little for 15. So do you go with him? Or do you say to somebody like, hey, Cam, whoa, Cam, why don't you bring your Jimmy Jam over here? But here's a Jimmy joke about your mom. No, I'm joking. Like, why don't you bring what you have over here? Like, do they go after Cam Newton now? Because this is part of the reason why Cam didn't stay, in a sense. Right? This is what was alluded to of why Cam didn't stay in New England. That he kind of like wanted opportunity to be a starter somewhere else in case a team loses their starting quarterback that is really looking to contend somewhere, and they're trying to say like, yo, I'm here, I'm Cam, I'm your man, remember this? Remember this? Remember the Superman stuff? Remember this? Like that's me, I'm Cam. Killer Cam, Killer Cam, Killer Cam, Killer Cam. But that was him. Because I'm pretty sure Washington didn't come into the season ready to throw it away. I'm pretty sure that defense didn't come into the season ready to throw it away. I'm pretty sure these players didn't come into the season thinking like, oh, this season is a wash. Granted, I'm not going to say that players play to throw in seasons. But, like, players, like, let's be honest, let's be for real. Let's be honest, let's be for real. Players know when you seriously have a chance. And like, when you're playing to just be a better team, when you're rebuilding, when you're a playoff contender or a championship contender, right? Like, they all have our tiers. And some teams are just ignorant the whole entire time. The whatchamacallers are one of these ignorant teams where their players aren't going to toss it in. They know this isn't one of the throwaway years. Like I said to talk about in the beginning, they thought that keeping a veteran quarterback that can produce was gonna get them to win this division again, because they won it last year, and they were hoping to do something that somebody hasn't done in this division in God knows how long, and that's repeat as a winner, bet with a winner, right? So you've watched that's something that we're gonna start keeping an eye on as these days turn around, and if I'm not mistaken, right, Washington has a short week. Like, they turn around and they play the Giants on Thursday Night Football. So, I doubt that they're probably going to sign a quarterback to bring in there. But we're going to see. Because if they do bring a quarterback in, they're going to have to try to teach him the system and get him turned around by Thursday. Or do you go with the rookie that already has been learning your system and you be like, hey, time for you to get these lumps. This porridge may be too hot. This porridge may be too cold. But you're going to get these lumps until it's just right. Nobody likes lumpy porridge. So Washington ends up losing that game to the LA Chargers by being knocked out. But also on the MyT injury report for the Denver Broncos, right? Their wide receiver who was doing pretty high, Jerry Jeudy, gets knocked out of that game. He gets his ankle all twisted round and round, looking like Dak Prescott out there. Now, luckily for him, I think that they said it was just a hot. No, he's out for the season. He's out for the season, if I'm not mistaken. High ankle sprain, something like that. So Jerry Jeudy's out. And let me be honest. Let me be 100% honest with you guys. I am 100% only talking about Jerry Jeudy because he's on my fantasy football team. If Jerry Jeudy was not on my... Like, Ryan Fitzpatrick is actually an interesting story. That's actually an interesting story. Jerry Jeudy. What's going on, Text 1025? Welcome back. Jerry Jeudy, like, I'm really only talking about because he was on my fantasy team. And now I'm going to have to go back and look for another... I'm going to have to look for somebody to replace his ass. and I'm a little upset with that. And as I'm looking for people to replace him, like I get a little nugget from one of my homegirls that plays in my fantasy football team. Well, I'm not gonna lie to you, all right? I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, she really isn't the kind of person that I would generally take advice from when it comes to fantasy football, because she's one of those individuals that if you don't coach her properly, she will very quickly forget that you are not supposed to take a quarterback in the first round. But she's an FSU fanatic. And she put me onto this little tidbit that FSU kickers do really well in the NFL. And granted, like, I don't know if you guys come from the same rule of thinking that I do. That kickers are barely even people, right? Eagles acting like they gonna to the Super Bowl after beating Atlanta. Again, the mighty the Blue Chew Get In hotline is officially up, and we're gonna talk about that team in a second. And we have people with rolling in the comments coming through here already. I don't know. I've never heard of this thing about FSU kickers. But you know what though? I'm gonna go ahead and get past that, and we're gonna go into the comment section of the Mighty Sports comments, right? And we're gonna actually talk about what of our Texas is throwing up there for us real quick, and talk about how Eagles fans, or the Eagles, I don't know if you're talking about the Eagles fans or the Eagles themselves, right? Somebody needs to sign Cam. And we just talked about that. It's gonna be interesting to see if Washington decides to sign Cam Newton, or if they leave, or if they decide just to go ahead and leave their young boy in there. It's gonna be interesting because, like I said, they play on Thursday, so something's got to give. I don't think the Giants are going to sign Cam. The Giants are going to be sticking with their young quarterback. This is the last year of his evaluation. If he doesn't pan out, but listen, Mr. Danny Dimes, listen, we call him Damn Daniel. We don't call him Danny Dimes. Like, we call him Damn Dan. Actually, you know what? Let me actually let you know exactly how we refer to him here.
Damn, Daniel. You turned over the ball again, Daniel.
And we'll be breaking down that Giants game on Wednesday. As you know, we like to stick with those home teams for the Wednesday night podcast. But to answer that question real quick, Danny Dimes, but Damn Daniel is not going anywhere. He is actually, they actually going to ride it out with him, and they're going, and because this is the last year of their evaluation of the evaluation. They got him weapons. Saquon Barkley's supposed to be back. I know they haven't fixed their offensive line, but they're telling him to suck that shit the fuck up. Even though they thought they fixed their offensive line, and then they end up having to bring in 4 new individuals like a week before the season started. But yeah, Daniels isn't going anywhere. Daniels is gonna get this whole entire season, unless he gets injured or knocked out of the game. He's gonna get this whole entire season for them to evaluate and see if he's gonna be the quarterback of the future. And then when they are proven that he is not, then they are going to draft a quarterback next year. Well, this team isn't really a good team anyway. Like, this Giants team isn't really that great. This Giants team has had the same problem that they've had for probably the last decade, and I know I sound like a broken record. Like, it doesn't matter what happens, like what they do, until they fix that offensive line, shit ain't gonna get right. But let's go to your previous comment about the Eagles acting like they're going to the Super Bowl after beating Atlanta. It's funny because the Cowboys probably do have the best. Now that Ryan Fitzpatrick is out in Washington, the Cowboys automatically move to the favorite to win the division. So it's almost a foregone conclusion that they're gonna make it to the playoffs. Like they have the path to making it to the playoffs literally handed to them. Washington has no team. Like Washington has no quarterback, but they have a decent run game and defense. But they have a rookie quarterback that they're gonna be trying to be breaking in, right? The New York Giants have no offensive line, and their quarterback is gonna be running for his life and pulling a car impersonation. And then that brings us to Philadelphia Eagles, who you just spoke about. And I, for one, actually like me some Jalen Hurts. I've actually been a fan of Jalen Hurts coming out of college. I actually like him a little bit. I actually like him a whole lot more than I like him over Tua got a tongue twister. So to see Philly go ahead and take care of Atlanta, I'm happy that he did. I don't know if they act like they're gonna go to the Super Bowl, but they're pretty sure that like they're just happy that they got a win. But they actually earned that right to be happy that they got a win. Cowboys fans were talking about they were going to act like they were going to the Super Bowl after they lost to Tampa Bay. So if a team wants to celebrate a W, right, or their W, they actually should. You guys celebrated an L. Like I don't think there's anything a little. I don't. If I had to rate which one was a little bit worse, I think celebrating your L and acting like you're going to go to the Super Bowl versus celebrating your W is a little bit worse. Oh, I don't have any high expectations about Giants defense. I didn't even mention Giants defense. Washington probably has the best defense in that division. But we're gonna move away from that for a second. We're gonna get into a little bit more of this injury report. Also, some notable injuries that happened around the league. We had Makai Beckham getting injured for the New York Jets, right? And he ended up going out, and that didn't even really help the Jets scenario at all. The Jets were already looking a little anemic on their lines, and then to be able to lose their young stud, which I ain't gonna lie, like he was having issues in the offseason as well. So this is one of those things that made me think like, hey, this shit just get compounded when you finally had to go full toggle. If little things that was just nagging you because you kind of came out of shape or came with little nagging injuries that things happen then, because his whole entire kneecap rolled out of place. Let's see. I think I'm just happy that I'm gonna be able to watch Dak light teams up this year. You know what though? Yeah, that's something to cheer about. That is something to cheer about. That is something to definitely cheer about. Now, something else that I was gonna cheer about as we're gonna veer away from football for just a little bit, and then we're gonna come back, right? Because that wasn't the only football obviously isn't the only thing that happened over the weekend, right? We had some more sports that was going on. So let's take a little flashback to Saturday. Let's move off of Sunday for a while and let's move over to Saturday, right? Because on Saturday, let's bring that back. Can you bring that back for me? On Saturday, Triller Fight Club had one of their events, right? And in their event, they were going to have, again, this is one of these fighting exhibitions that, again, bring eyes and highlights and awareness to boxing without actually bringing awareness to any actually current ranked boxers, which is still the thing that kind of that throws me off. That while it's bringing eyes to boxing, like it's not bringing you in. It's not forwarding the name of anybody that's ranked. And if you're not getting any of these ranked guys in there, are you really truly helping boxing out? What's going on? Yo, Ronnie, why you stop calling up on Podbean, B? Like, why I always got to see you on the gram? Why you, like, I mean, I appreciate it. I really do. But why you stop calling up on Podbean, B? Come on, boy, Ron over here. You know what I mean? Ron with the gold hoops. So Triller Fight Club had their event, right? And it was and the two co-main events, right, were Evander Holyfield taking on Vitor Belfort, and also Anderson Silva versus Tito Ortiz. You can't find it. Can't find what? The podcast on Podbean or Podbean? Well, real simple for everybody that's listening. Open up the Podbean app. Go to the live section. Right? When you go to the live section of the Podbean app, you'll see the logo for the MyT Sports. So just look for MyT Sports, click on there, then you click the microphone, and bada bing, bada boom, you'll be the first person in the room. How you doing? Or you be the next person in the room. How you doing? Now, I stayed up for these fights. Like, I actually, like, the fights didn't start at 10 o'clock. I stayed up for these fights. I had work like 4 o'clock in the fucking morning. I ain't gonna lie. It was a struggle. It was really a struggle. I remember I even told you that the extra caveat that was added on to this event was that Donald Trump and his son, Donnie Jr., were going to be having their own special commentary. Now, I couldn't get their commentary stream. I was really mad about that. I could not get their commentary stream, and I really wanted to listen to it. I wanted to listen to it for one thing and one thing only. I wanted to see if he was going to be taking any shots at this current presidency regime, because you know how petty he is. And I also wanted to see how many encrypted messages that he tries to deliver to his Trumpettes. If you don't know what a trumpet is, it's like Gladys Knight and the Pimps, basically his entourage, his backup dancers, his glorified knob glisteners, basically. Trumpets. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the only reason why I wanted to watch. I just wanted to see how many. I just wanted to hear. I was curious to hear what they were going to say. Not interested in the fact that they may call anything. They may put in any insightful comment towards boxing, or give me any boxing insight, or say anything that I would have find culturally entertainment, or could possibly, or I shouldn't say could possibly relate to, because you can always relate to money. And if you would have given away some money tips, like I would have been over there writing shit to fuck down, like, okay, so I need to invest in this one, drop a couple of things in this one. All right, you said flip honey, right? I didn't get some picnic baskets and burn down. Burn down. Oh, I ain't burning the shit down. Oh, you know the only thing I'm about to burn this bush right here. Hold on. If you guys are unaware, right, here on the MyT Sports podcast, right, like I am. Oh, there goes Ron. He found it. Ooh, aren't you an FSU fan? If you're an FSU fan, I have a question for you. And I'm serious about that, like, cause I can't remember what college you affiliate with, so I'm not trying to crack a joke or anything. I'm really trying to ask if you, like, cause if you're not an FSU fan, I don't want you to think that because you know I joke about your professional teams, not joking about your college team. College is a little bit more serious. So I was a little interested in what they were gonna say. I didn't think they were gonna say anything insightful. I just wanted to hear. I was kind of just interested in what kind of. I wanted to hear what the fuck was going to come out of his mouth. I just expected him to say some outlandish shit, and I wanted to hear it. But unfortunately, I couldn't find it. And you know what? I think I spent more time trying to find his feed, or the feed with the Trumps, than these two fights actually lasted combined. Yes, folks, we got ourselves a Dave single double on this one. Yeah, we're talking about 2 first-round knockouts, folks. A complete Dave single-double. And it was surprising. So let's start off with the Evander Holyfield and Vitor Belfort fight. And let's start off by saying that I forgot. I don't know who the hell I was. Yeah, okay, so FSU was your squad. Whoa. That's not Ronnie. I see Ronnie and I see somebody else. Is that Mia? Did you finally find your way in here, Mia? Because if that's you, the Blue Chew Get In hotline is officially open. Go ahead and call up. Give me your FSU. Give me your FSU. I'm gonna fight you in as a speaker. Right. Let me also, and I'm gonna mute. You need headphones too. You can't put yourself on speaker because if you don't, then I get a bad reverb and you guys and they end up hearing me. So I'm glad you made it in here. I'm really glad you was able to join the podcast. Thank you for joining, Mia. Appreciate you. Appreciate the love. That's my like, yo, you guys don't even know. Like, I don't think I talk about Mia enough on the podcast, right? Because you guys because she don't be hopping on the podcast. But if you guys think that me and Natalie are close, like I haven't even told you about me and Mia. Like Mia's my ace boom cool. Like Mia's my female spiritual animal. Like my female spirit animal. Like word is born. Like that's my army twin. Like all day. Like that's my ride or die checkmate. Like we listen, put it this way. Like we sit on a chessboard side by side. Like that's my ace right there. Oh, it's Ronnie. Okay, I still got a question for you. I done gave Mia that poetic intro. That's not even her. But I don't even talk about my homegirl Mia enough. But just to let you guys know, I have a homegirl named Mia that I'm even way closer to than I am to Natalie. You guys don't even know. She hit me up today on some FSU shit, right? So to come back to take away from this boxing, right? To come back from boxing for a second, and let's go back to this FSU thing that I had, because I had an FSU question. Is it really a thing that FSU kickers do really well in the NFL? I'm gonna go ahead and unmute you. Let me get you up here. All right, Ronnie. There you go. Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to join us on the Blue Chew Get In Hotline. Welcome, Ron. So I know you heard my question. So what's up? Yeah, tell me about these FSU kickers. Is this a thing?
Yeah, I mean, most of the kickers in FSU history have done good in the NFL, besides Robert Aguayo, which he got drafted by Tampa Bay, but he did really bad. I don't know why, because he was really good at FSU. And his brother sucked too, so his brother's horrible at FSU, so he probably not in the pros. But Roberto Aguayo, he was good at FSU. I just don't know why it didn't pan out in the pros. Maybe it was more mental than anything.
Yeah, because I have a homegirl, and she's an FSU fan. She's an FSU fan to the point where she will draft Jameis Winston with the number 1 pick overall in a fantasy football league.
I mean, I don't know if I would do that. But
I'm just letting you know how much she's a fan. Like you understand, she's so much of a Jameis Winston fan. Last year, when Jameis Winston was getting no burn, she still had to put him on his team. Like she's an FSU fan. I think she's the person that drafted Josh Freeman with the number 1 pick years ago.
Damn.
Yes.
Devontae?
No. That quarterback that they had back in the day.
Oh.
Josh Freeman. That dude, that little that guy. And I see some words coming on they like saying that probably is working for her right now. The funny thing about it, she still managed to get him, but she actually listened a little bit to my to my fantasy do's and don'ts podcast, and she took my advice and didn't draft the quarterback with the first overall pick. So
smart. She listens to you on that for sure.
But it definitely is a player that she definitely added to her squad, because she cannot have Jameis Winston. Like, she would throw an absolute fit. What she was doing was looking for FSU kickers and realized that they all got taken. She was hoping like one was like left off of waiver wires, and then she was telling me that shit this morning. I was like, I had to tell her for real. Like, listen, like nobody pays attention to kickers. Like, they're barely even people. Right? Like, that's not and that's not me saying this. This is other NFL players saying this, right? This has nothing to do with how I feel about NFL kickers. This is how NFL players feel about NFL kickers, and they feel like they're barely even people.
I mean, people care about a kicker when the game is on the line. They gotta kick a field goal, even if it's a 30-yarder or 50-yarder, and that's the game winner.
They care about them then. And listen, if you have a good kicker on your fantasy football team, he could put up as much points as a second-tier wide receiver for you on a consistent basis.
Facts.
So, like, I mean, a decent kicker is always good to get. But listen, I didn't say that about kickers. This was an NFL player saying this about kickers. Live on radio, he said this about a kicker. They're barely even people. I just want to put those little suckers all over the place. Sorry. Oh man, I'm remembering the full context of that conversation now. All right, so let's get back to these Triller fights, right? Because these Triller fights were something else. All right. So Evander Holyfield was taking on Vitor Belfort, and if I'm not mistaken, Evander Holyfield didn't he step in for somebody, right?
Yeah.
Oscar
De La Hoya.
There we go. I knew it was one. Wait, for Oscar De La Hoya?
I thought it was Oscar De La Hoya.
Huh.
Oscar De La Hoya tested positive for COVID.
I don't know why I was thinking about the other guy that Tyson lost to, the British dude.
Oh no, what one?
You know what I'm talking about. The one that he lost to after he fought Holyfield. I was thinking about it. I think it was possibly. I don't know why I was thinking it was him or whatever. But Evander Holyfield. When Evander Holyfield got this fight, I remember hearing a couple of very prominent figures in boxing world talking about how he should not be fighting and how this is kind of a disgrace to boxing that he is being allowed to fight. But let me also add this though. When Anderson Silva had his last MMA match, right? That Dana White sanctioned, right? And was like, yeah, I'll give you this one like that as like your going away match. He was like, I should have never have done it. It was a big fucking mistake. Like he let me talk him into like giving him his last match, and he shouldn't have done this. It was a fucking disgrace out there. You know what I mean? Because he thought he was past whatever he was past. But I could I agreed then with Dana White, and I still agree with him now. And when I heard their talks about Evander Holyfield, that's what it made me think about. And it was ironic that Evander Holyfield would be on the same card as Anderson Silva. And the same things were said about Anderson Silva during his last fight in his actual profession, which was MMA. So here goes Evander Holyfield fighting somebody that's just a brawler. He's a fighter. He's not a boxer. He's Vitor Belfort. He's basically the guy. He's one of the guys that I put in the category of the guys that Jake Paul is fighting. Like, Jake Paul isn't fighting boxers. He's just fighting other fighters. Now, you know what I would like to see? I would like to see Jake Paul against Vitor Belfort.
I think Jake Paul will lose, though.
I don't care. I want to see Jake Paul lose. Listen, I watch Jake Paul fights for the same reason that 90% of the people used to watch Floyd Mayweather fights. I watch to see him lose. I watch to see Mayweather win. I'm not saying 90% of the public watch Mayweather fights to see him lose. Like, I watch Jake Paul fights just to see him get his shit rocked, to be honest with you. But he keeps fighting people that aren't boxers, and he actually boxes. So he's beating them because they don't have as much technique, or when he fights a real boxer, he gets his shit rocked. And he has to hold them up and keep him alive. So Vitor Belfort goes in to fight Evander Holyfield, right? Evander Holyfield fights Vitor Belfort. And Evander Holyfield, like, he looked old. And I'm not talking about George Foreman when he made his comeback old. Like, Evander Holyfield looked like the old guy that's still in shape. Like, like at this point, you just have all these muscles partly because it's just muscle memory. Like, you still work out because, like, you're just used to it. Like I still kind of work out slightly because I'm still just used to it. You know what I mean? Like, I can't go too long without knocking out a bunch of push-ups, sit-ups, and a bunch of, you know what I mean? Like, you know, and all kinds of other shit. Like, so, like, it's just in his DNA. Like, but to get beat by somebody that isn't a boxer, like, that's how you know it's bad. Like, because that means, like, a regular boxer would have chewed his ass up.
Right.
Because Vitor Belfort doesn't have the footwork, shouldn't have the footwork or the foot discipline, the stance discipline that a boxer does. For a seasoned boxer like Evander Holyfield, who one time took down the baddest man on the planet to be able to get a victory. But you know what happens also too? At some point in time, you also can't take them licks. And Vitor Belfort caught it with a couple of hooks that put Grandpa to sleep. He was like, oh, this is why I retired. And he went down like a petrified log. Pfft, broken glass everywhere. If it ain't about the money, Puffy just don't care. And I felt sorry for Evander Holyfield for a little bit. But part of me, because I'm such a big Mike Tyson fan, I was like, that's what you get. And it wasn't even, and I know that I know he did nothing wrong to Mike Tyson, and Mike Tyson actually bit his ear off. But I love Mike Tyson, so I put Mike Tyson as the victim in that scenario. I do love me some Mike Tyson, like he's one of my idols growing up, like, because, like, his work ethic and his story was just ridiculous. Like I'm sorry. Like, but also, like, I had weird people that I used to look up to growing up. Like, before like I completely like deemed it like I should. There's no good way to say this. I used to love me some Ike Turner because he had great motivational skills. Listen, he had very horrible motivational skills or methods, but he was a great motivator, and he had an eye for talent. I grew out of that phase. Like, but Mike Tyson and Ike Turner used to be two of my like role models at one point in time. Kind of still are.
Mike Tyson, he had a rough childhood, man.
He definitely did. So, another fight on there, and also let me add. Remember I told you we got a Dave single double on this this pay-per-view or on this fight card. Evander Holyfield goes down in the first round of Vitor Belfort. In the first round, knocked out, night, go to sleep. Woke up the next day. Hey, I thought I was supposed to fight today. You already fought, Mr. Holyfield. Damn, I did. What happened? You got knocked the fuck out.
He also got paid too.
That he did too. Listen, if your chin is strong enough to get knocked out by somebody that's a professional and you can get money for it, hey, I'll take a couple of lumps too. But I feel like my whole neck will break if I take the wrong fucking hook. Like, I be looking at some of these boxes and I'm like, yo, we're the same. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Back in my adolescent, I'd be like, yo, we're the same weight. I think I could take some of these guys. Now I'm like, yo, we're the same weight. I have no chance against any of these guys. Like, I don't got nothing left in the tank. The other fight, speaking of nothing left in the tank, was against Anderson Silva and Tito Ortiz, which I thought was going to be a much better fight. Now, granted, I also thought Evander Holyfield had a chance to beat Vitor Belfort, but I also thought it was going to be a much better fight. And Tito Ortiz was out here doing what Tito Ortiz does, right? He learned the art of promotion the same way that Floyd Mayweather learned the art of promotion, and he was out there the same way Conor McGregor learned the art of promotion, right? He was out there, I'm talking straight cash shit, talking about, hey, Anderson Silva, your Kung Fu Bruce Lee style ain't gonna do shit here. This is why we like the fight game, because when you talk shit, you literally have to eat those words. Like, yo, that is what really makes fighting so good, right? Is that when you talk shit in the fight game, you know you're the person that you're talking shit to, right? When that bell rings, he has every legal right to knock your fucking block off now. And you can't do shit about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, legalized ass whoopers. You can't press charges. You can't, like, you can complain. Like, but when you complain, people will be like, yo, millions of people watch you get your ass whooped. Like, you just being a sore loser. Stop it. No. Stop it. So Tito Ortiz
that sounds like Conor McGregor.
Wait, listen, Conor McGregor is going to be the third fight we're going to talk about from this weekend. Right? So Tito Ortiz is taking on Anderson Silva, and I thought this was going to be a better fight because they're both coming from the MMA world, right? They're both older MMA fighters. When they both got to the later parts of their MMA career, they were like, well, Anderson Silva was always majority of a stand-up guy. But you know what? No, let me take that back. I mean, I'm going to go back with my original statement. When they both got to the later stages in their MMA career, they both became perennially stand-up guys, where in the early stages of the career, they used to be, hey, I'm going to take you down, and one used to ground and pound you, the other one used to submit you. You understand? Like, but when they got to the later stages, they used to get a couple of knockouts, and then they started doing a lot more stand-up. Hey, so to see these two guys go after it, I'm like, hey, this should be a better fight. But like I told you in the beginning, this was a Dave single double, folks. All that shit Tito Ortiz was talking. You know what Mike Tyson says, right? Everybody got a plan until they got punched in the face. Tito Ortiz thought that Kung Fu shit was fugazi until he caught a Bruce Lee backhand to the motherfucking jaw, and he was like, oh shit, you hit me for real. And not even minutes later, he's on the ground. Anderson Silva is getting his hand raised. Tito Ortiz is trying to figure out what the fuck just happened. And Anderson Silva is looking like, you know what? You should have went to boxing. But we forget. Anderson Silva came from kickboxing to go to MMA. And then dominated there. Became one of the most dominant champions in history. Before he finally lost. So to see him on his feet, and don't forget, folks, that the Blue Chew Get In hotline is officially open. So if you're listening to us through the Podbean app, you can go ahead and call in and join the conversation if you would like. Don't forget the Blue Chew hotline is open. Blue Chew, just chew it and do it. All right. So I wasn't surprised that Anderson Silva whooped that ass. I was just surprised that it happened in the first round. But you know what? Tito Ortiz, like, his jaw ain't been the same since the Iceman fucking crushed it.
Facts.
Like, it's almost like he goes, it's like, as soon as he catches an overhand right, he goes into relapse. Like, every time. Like, I don't know if you guys see it. Watch his fights. Watch every single fight he's had after going against the Iceman. Every time he gets hit with an overhand right, it's almost like he relapses and like, oh shit, he's here again. He's here again. Oh, don't say his name 5 times. Candyman. I only said it 3. I'm not going 5 times. Fuck you guys. You ain't about to have me die on the air. You know what I mean? But I was interested. I just couldn't stay awake for all of it. That's the thing about it. Like, and you know what's bad is that when you're watching something and you're half asleep, so when it ends, I felt like I dozed off, and I wasn't sure how long I dozed off for. Like, both times, I'm over here thinking like, damn, I dozed off. I think I must have missed almost all of the fight. It must be like in the 3rd round, the 5th round, you know, or some shit like that. No! I dozed off and woke back up in the 1st round. It was over. So basically, I blinked. And it was a wrap. Dave single double.
Happens.
And that wasn't even the most interesting fights of the weekend. The most interesting fight of the weekend came in a fight where no punches were landed at the VMAs.
Oh, Machine Gun Kelly.
Exactly. You got Conor McGregor over here wasting his fine whiskey on Machine Gun Kelly. I don't know what the fuck happens. I still haven't gotten an idea. But all I see is them in the crowd. You see Conor McGregor doing his side pace thing that he does, that he likes to do, and he's over here throwing his drinks at Machine Gun Kelly. I'm like, what the fuck? And and not for nothing, Conor McGregor, but you know what though? That's what I'm gonna call you. When you pick on guys like Machine Gun Kelly, we call you Conor McGregor. Calm down, little Greggy. Stop it right now. You just boasting your chest. Like, what is Machine Gun Kelly gonna do to you?
Nothing.
Come on now. We don't see Machine Gun Kelly get punked live on the air. What is he gonna do to you? Certified MMA badass. Like, let's not pull punches here. Like, what? Like, I can't even understand what Machine Gun Kelly could have done to upset him or to make him feel threatened. Because that's the only way you should respond on that. Because if I'm Conor McGregor, Machine Gun Kelly says some dumb shit like that, I'm like, oh, lad, you just running off at the mouth. You know I could break it like a twig anytime I want. Like, come on now. Like, that's a harder flex than throwing your drink on him. You know who throws their drink on people? Vexed women in clubs. The chick that you keep harassing at the bar. That's who throws drinks at you. Your girl when she's mad at you. That's who throws drinks, Connor. Connor. Maybe that's why you all testy, because I just realized your first name is Connor. We've always said it in unison, Conor McGregor, right? You put the McGregor on there, you add a little freshness to it. You put it to the, you say it in one whole lump. But you isolate that shit, it's Connor. And Connor had really nice parents. Or was that Clarence? But that's what he reminds me of now. Connor, throwing your drink on people. Stop it right now. I seen somebody in here named T. Connor. Sorry, Connor. Like, this is not the place where Connors are getting love. Like, and I'm not trying to rob you of anything, but I'm just talking about Connors here. You understand? Oh my God. Like, this is why I love sports. Like, this is why I love sports and I love the sports world. Because it is a very easy and good getaway from all of the bullshit. Right? Like we have Washington losing their magic in the first. Did you catch the beginning of the show? The Washington. So, how crazy is this, right?
I did see the Chargers beat that ass yesterday, though.
You did see who?
I said I did see the Chargers beat that ass.
The Chargers, yes, yes. Actually, let's get into the Chargers. Cause the Chargers are your official team, right? So let's get into the Chargers. We talked about the Chargers at the beginning, so I'll let you sit here and gloat, right, for a little bit. But how crazy is that, right? We all, right? And I don't want to say we all. I'm not me, but the majority of the sports world, especially the football world, was expecting Ryan Fitzmagic to fizzle out sometime this year because he had a good year last year. And if you know his history, he's a walking roller coaster. One good year, one bad year. So they expected at some point in time he was going to play his way out of the game. At some point in time, he would no longer be the starting quarterback for this season. Who thought it would be the first game, first quarter? Immediately, old man in the room breaks his hip. Sorry, Grandpa. There's no country for old men.
Hey, man, that shit happens.
But with him though, shit always happens. It's like my big brother. Shit always happens. Like, what do you mean? Like I said, for him it's always gonna say like, and we understand shit happens, but damn the luck of his shit. Like, you have good years, you know, good enough years to get paid, and then the next year you wet the bed. And this one isn't blamed on him, but everybody thought you was gonna be out eventually. Bam, there they go. I blame the people. I blame the people and their bad karma. They put this bad juju on him.
I guess, but I feel like you can't overlook the Chargers, man. The Chargers they're up and coming.
They are up and coming. They have a nice little young quarterback. Is it Justin Herbert? Justin Herbert.
Justin Herbert.
There we go.
Herbert.
Like, he is proven to be everything that he could be. But listen, talk about luck though, right? Who has worse luck in the NFL? Ryan Fitzpatrick or Tyrod Taylor?
Ooh, I'm gonna say Fitzpatrick right now. I mean, I know Tyrod Taylor, he lost the job last year, but hey man, he looked good yesterday with the Texans.
He did, but come on, you remember how he lost that job though? He was supposed to be getting a routine shot, and his own medical staff punctured his lung.
I know. I remember the story, bro.
That's friendly fire. like that's not like, at least Ryan Fitzpatrick's came from the enemy. Like, you expect to get shot from the enemy. Like oh my God, who shot me in the ass? How I get shot in the ass? It's only my people back. Oh, it was my people.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think they meant to do that. I think that was a mistake, but regardless of the fact, you're right though. I mean, that's a bad way to lose your fucking starting job.
And since we're talking about possibly losing jobs, right? I'm trying to stall a little bit before my other drunken compadres get in here. Did you hear the most recent story about Urban Myers?
No.
It is now coming out that Urban Myers is thinking about retiring from football.
God. He does that all the time, bro.
Because his heart is not in it.
Yeah, but he did that with Ohio State.
After one game? In the Professional Football League? Finally coming up here? Is it because it wasn't what you thought it was? Is it because you realized that you can't hire racist strength coaches? Is it because you can't bring on people that don't deserve spots just to bring them on and piss off your whole entire roster? What? Is it because you can't fire people or cut people because they have COVID? Like, and now this? Urban Meyer's been a walking shit show since he stepped into the NFL.
I agree. 100%.
Like, if we because let's judge him by the highest of standards. So basically, we gonna judge him by black coach standards, right? Right? We gonna judge him by the highest of standards here. You are not normally allowed to have this many consecutive fuck ups in a row and keep your job anyway. And that's whether you're a player or a coach in the NFL. Because it is always being said, protect the shield, protect the shield, protect the shield. Urban Meyer came from college and was like, fuck your shield. I'm wiping my ass with this motherfucker. And then when you guys want to try to make it seem like I'm the one that stink because I'm not using toilet paper and washing my ass properly, I'm gonna quit. He's basically about to pull a Chris Paul. Before this shit can stick to me, I'ma leave.
Exactly. He knows they're gonna have a long season. They're gonna take a lot of L's,
and he's gonna have to answer a lot of unnecessary questions. They're gonna be looking at his coaching philosophy, because if Lawrence doesn't look good, because listen, they can take L's, but if he makes Trevor Lawrence looks bad, or if Trevor Lawrence looks bad, they're gonna blame him. They're not gonna blame Trevor Lawrence. They're gonna blame the coach, and I don't think he wants any of that smoke.
He don't want that heat. You're right. He don't want that smoke. Exactly what it is. And he's a little bitch. That's all.
That really did shock me that it would come out that he does not want to coach. I'm like, because it makes me like, I'm sorry, like I can't, because you know what I keep thinking on the line of, you get your dream job, and after the first day on the job, you say, fuck it, ain't the job for me. It's like me doing this podcast for 10 years, and then in year 11, ESPN or Fox finally was like, yo, or the direction I'm actually trying to get to, Rock Nation Sports, it's like, yo, I want you to be my leading my leading voice. I go on there day one after, you know what I mean? I signed my contract, la la la. You know what I mean? You guys have been hearing about me coming to talk about, you know what I mean? In their new season lineup, shit is being built up. I get on there the first day, la la la, drop a couple of hot takes like I do. And after that, I'm like, you know what? Nah, I ain't gonna do this shit. You know, I'm like, no, what the fuck did I chase this dream for? Because even if I thought my first day was hard, in my head, I'd be like, well, you know what? It's not supposed to be easy.
That's how I felt when I came to Gitmo, being the chief.
And congratulations on that, by the way. As you guys don't know, my boy Ron is currently proudly serving right now in the United States Coast Guard. Let's make sure we give him a proper big up for that one. You know how we... Big up. Speaking of, shit. Right, as I get so lost in things sometimes. September 11th just passed. So like also like in memory of everybody that also was affected and lost loved ones for September 11th. And it's so crazy, right? Because, you know, like, because of how I work now, right? I'm working a little bit more independently. And from how I work independently and how I work in the office setting, it's completely two different things. Two different ways, I should say. And I know September 11th fell on a Saturday, so it's not going to fully apply. But what happens is that any day, and when I used to be in an office setting, anytime that September 11th fell on a weekday, I took that day off. I refused to work on September 11th. Like, I don't work on Veterans Day, I don't work on Memorial Day, like you know what I mean, like all them days, like I always take them off. Like I automatically go into the calendar, like, and I take them off like as soon as the year begins. Like, here, I'm taking that day off, taking that day off. And you know, when they put a little memo, I don't work on that day. I don't work on this. I don't like, I just found out, tell them I don't work on those days. But working independently, I was sure as fuck working September 11th morning. And it didn't hit me until sometime in that morning, like, damn, I'm working today. And normally if I was in the office, they couldn't have paid me extra to work on September 11th. But that just lets you know how much I hated being inside an office. I really do. It started bringing back some funky shit. Just to let you guys know. For people that have heard the podcast already, yeah, it started dragging out some like PTSD moments and shit like that. So, or some anxiety shit. So I had to like stop. Like, I can't go back to offices. Like I'm really having problem in office settings. It's fucking crazy. It's okay
Stop
though.
everybody.
And the thing, and like I said, the crazy thing about it is that for years I was basically training my whole life and practicing my whole life to be in an office setting. Like that was my whole first initial career. But I guess I realized that the day that I probably low key realized that when I decided to go into the communication field, that you know what, I can't do office settings anymore. That's probably was the beginning of that, and then we're here where we are now.
Hey man, you gotta do what you gotta do. I totally understand. There's nothing wrong with that. At least you found out earlier instead of later.
Yeah, listen. You guys have no clue. Like I was having complete panic attacks, like complete anxiety attacks, in the office. Like you understand? Like I can also get like ill too, like ill to my like complete couldn't hold my like talking about like I don't know how to say it, like just nauseous, complete like just nausea for no good goddamn reason. I really thought it was my medication for a while, but I think that they all were interconnected. I used to tell my doctors, like, yo, I can't deal with this medication because that's just making me nauseous. But I think it was just the office. Period. That shit makes me sick, physically. Alrighty, let's continue, right? Because like there were some other interesting things that happened in the NFL, right? Not just like the Washington team. Right, the Washington football team or the Washington whatchamacallits, whatever they want to call themselves these days, right? Losing their quarterback and having a... So, like, let me ask you, Ron, what do you think they do? Do you think they stick with their current quarterback, or do they probably go after Cam Newton?
I actually think that they're gonna probably go after Cam Newton now. Why would you not? I mean, Heineke is okay. He's an NFL quarterback. He's the backup, and he started. But, I mean, now you're going to need somebody to back him up, and why would you not go after Cam Newton if he's sitting out there? That just doesn't make sense. Yeah. What if Heineke hurt? What do you do then?
And if they want to continue their playoff aspirations, I'm going to think they're going to have to. Because without Washington there, then this division is basically Dallas's to lose.
Facts. I mean, the Eagles look good yesterday, but I mean that is the Falcons.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I mean, it is the Falcons. And you know what? Let's go there next. You know what? Actually, perfect timing. You're perfect timing. I'm about to get into something. Let's go there next. These goddamn Falcons. These motherfucking dirty birds. Can I tell you, I have told myself last year sometime, I am gonna. If you've heard me here heard me talk about this on the podcast over the last couple of years, if you guys heard me talk, then I'll even understand why Matt Ryan has a job, right? That when it comes to football picks, I started telling myself I'm not taking these Falcons ever again, and when we were making our picks last year, last week, me and Mark was here. And I said, you know what? Huh?
Got the goods.
The bottle's up here. Or it was around here somewhere. Right here. But everything else is downstairs.
Yeah.
I said to him, I was like, the Falcons should win this game, but this is why we get upset with the Falcons, because they don't win these games. And this is why I throw them underneath a bus every single time they come up that I talk about them, because they don't live up to expectations. If this is the first time you're listening to this podcast, let me tell you, let me let you understand something. You name me a quarterback that has been coddled to more than Matt Ryan in his whole entire career, who has gotten more weapons, what we may consider bona fide Hall of Fame weapons in the receiving spots, from tight ends to wide receivers to 1,000-yard running backs. More than Matt Ryan.
Phillip Rivers.
He's the other one. But Phillip Rivers don't. But you know what though? Phillip Rivers used to catch a whole lot of slack, and he don't got a job anymore.
It's true. He's out of the NFL.
And for people that are just coming in, right? They used to remember. Part of the reason that even Matt Ryan came on my radar was because when Cam Newton used to be in Carolina and he was starting to have a couple of struggling seasons. What's going on to do, Sean? Salute to you too. When he was having a couple of struggling games, they always used to talk. The first narrative used to talk about, oh, is Cam Newton going to continue to be the future quarterback of the Carolina Panthers? But then, when Matt Ryan had a couple of struggling games, I never heard anybody question if he's going to be the starting quarterback for that team in the future.
You're right. I never heard that either.
But yet, if you ever had to compare the type of weapons that Matt Ryan has gotten through his career and the type of weapons that Cam Newton has gotten through his career, it's not even comparable. See? This is how Matt Ryan came on my radar. It's only because they kept on talking about Cam Newton's job, and Matt Ryan has still gone unscathed of being talked about as ever losing his job. Yet he has had Julio Jones, he has had Gonzalez, he has had Jordy White, he has had now he has this guy Riley, he has had Devin Johnson, come on, Devontae Freeman, it has gone on and on, and we're talking about the list of people that he has had has been ridiculous of talent wise, been surrounded, and yet he never really muscles up. And like I said, I understand that he's went to a Super Bowl too, but so did Cam. I understand that Cam lost the Super Bowl in horrible fashion. Well, so did Matt Ryan.
I mean, they had the lead though. They were winning 28-3, bro.
Yeah, that's what I was like. Yo, they both looked bad in a Super Bowl appearance. So why has Cam Newton been the only person that's been punished during this time?
I would say the Falcons worse because they had the lead, bro. The game was over with.
So now you understand why it was baffling me when Matt Ryan had bad games. Nobody was coming for his job, but every bad game that Cam Newton had, they were coming for his. Now you guys understand why Matt Ryan came on my radar. And now every time he loses a goddamn game, I'm going to hold him to the same expectation that they were holding Cam Newton to this whole entire time. But nobody does. Nobody ever said this is Matt. Yo, why can't Matt Ryan pull it off? Why can't they do this? Why can't they do... you don't understand? But you know what though? They're going to allow him to be there as long as Phillip Rivers was in LA. They're going to give him that long of a time to fuck up. They're going to give him every opportunity to fuck up. To not make it. But now you understand, now that you got the history, now you understand why I get so upset when Atlanta lost. Because last year I told myself I'm going to stop picking them. But I'm like, you know what? I like Jalen Hurts. I actually like Jalen Hurts. I like me some Jalen Hurts. I like Jalen Hurts way more than I like Tua got a tongue twister. I think he's a better quarterback. I think he has more to give. I think he's more, and also let me explain this. I think he was a little bit more NFL ready coming out of college too. Also because of the fact that he changed two different programs. If you're a young quarterback coming into the NFL, it's not unlikely that in your first 4 years that you may have two offensive coordinators or two different head coaches. So the fact that happened to Jalen Hurts, I'm in college, I was like, you know what? And you still look, and you still kind of balled with that Oklahoma City team. You may, you know what I mean? You can go to the NFL and have a Ryan Fitzpatrick kind of long career. Who knows? And Ryan Fitzpatrick is lowballing these guys when I call him that. Not saying like you good, but yeah. But you're good enough to last in the NFL for damn near 20 years and get paid. That's never a bad thing. You know what I mean? Like look at Frank Gore. Every year Frank Gore's like, yo, I take 1.6 mil. You know what I mean? So I like me some Jalen Hurts, and even I talk to myself like they're not gonna Philly should not win this game. This should be Atlanta's to win. But what does Atlanta do once again? Those dirty birds just continue to muck up the place. Every time I speak their name in a good fashion, I feel like I need to take an orbit directly after. You guys understand that reference. You go look at those commercials. But yet I fall for it all the time. But you know what? I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. This was their test. This was their one benefit of the doubt game that I was going to give them this season. Their first game against Philly. If they lose this game, which they just did, I wasn't going to pick them anymore. And they lost this game. They lost this game bad. Like, bad.
At home.
In the ATL. You know what I mean? With the lemon pepper wings on the side waiting for them if they won. Like, and they still, and you still managed to stink up the place, you dirty birds.
That's funny. That's funny. I like that. That's funny.
Jalen Hurst, 27 passes on 35 attempts, 264 yards, 3 touchdowns. 7 for 62, ran for 62 yards. Their lead rusher, Miles Sanders, ran for 74. So let's let you know what Jalen Hurst is able to do. Like, that's what I'm like. I like me some Jalen Hurst. I'm like, and I'm gonna sit here and I'm probably gonna put it on my board. Jalen Hurst is gonna have a better season than Tua got a tongue twister, and I'm gonna go on the record and even say he's gonna have a better career. Like, I feel that strong about Jalen Hurst over Tua got a tongue twister.
I mean, I like the Dolphins, though. I like what they're doing. They look good.
I like what the Dolphins have done as well over the last couple of years. They built a good defense. They got a couple of decent they got a decent wide receiver last year in the draft as well too. A nice little explosive motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like they could use a little bit more height on their team. Like in their skilled positions, they're still very short.
Right.
So, like, they have really small skill positions, but giant fucking linemen. So, I mean, that works there.
How do you feel about the Jets? How did Zach Wilson look to you?
I'm gonna let you know that on Wednesday. I'm gonna tease that. We're gonna talk about, to let you guys know. I'm actually glad that you asked me that. On Wednesday's podcast, folks. Right? On the next time. The next time on the Mighty Sports Podcast, we talk about the New York Jets versus the Carolina Panthers, Pittsburgh versus Buffalo, Denver versus New York Giants, Miami versus New England, and Baltimore versus Las Vegas on the same MyT channel and the same MyT space. Yo, he said try being a Skins fan. Oh man, we got that. The dude, I was a Jets fan. Still am a Jets fan-ish. Like they're still deeply implanted in my heart. Like I just had to go deep and do some deep diving into the owner. I had to go vest him real quick. So as soon as the vesting comes back, then we're gonna find out if I stick with the Jets or not. But I should have done the vesting before I got rid of all my gear and gave it away to Goodwill. That's how vexed. All of it I gave to Goodwill.
Damn.
That's how that. But it was a race issue. Like so. But I should have done a little bit more homework first. See, you say Browns fans have it worse, but Jets fans trump that shit. The Jets trump that shit because didn't the Browns put up like a ridiculous they had an undefeated season for almost 2 years, and then the first game that they win or they tied finally was against the Jets. And then the Jets managed to have one of their worst seasons ever in franchise history and almost in NFL history after that. For like 2 straight seasons because they decided to hire the gays. Oh, God, you're opening old wounds. Adam Gase is the worst. I mean the absolute worst head coach in coaching. Not NFL, not basketball, not baseball, not hockey, not D1, not Pee Wee, not high school, not rec league. I mean in all of history. Adam Gase is the worst. And as a Jets fan, as a Jets organization, how in the flying fucking plane jets into crashing pink buildings in plastic bags do you hire Miami's trash after they had 2 fucking horrible seasons? How? That's when I lost it. Like, oh my God. Like, you literally went dumpster diving for your head coach. Like, oh, what do I need to do to turn around my franchise? Let me go get the losingest coach around for the last 2 years. Outside of Freddie fucking Kitchens.
Tell me how you really feel.
Man, you don't understand. Like, there's a lot of things that I can't tolerate. Like, I can't listen to basketball games if Reggie Miller is commentating, right? like I can't do that shit. I couldn't watch a Jets game with Adam Gase on the sideline. And then the race shit came out with about Woody Johnson. I'm like, you know what? I'm done with this team. Like, that's the straw that broke the camel's back. Like, we got into race relations now. Like, I'm done. Like, when shit gets racist and sexist, that's where I draw my line. And that's what and that was the shit that came up about Woody Johnson. But sorry, I got to breathe. You don't get it. Like, that is the worst thing that can ever happen as a Jets fan, when you pick up Miami's trash and you sign them to your team. Listen, I felt the same way when the Jets got Jason Taylor. I'm like, why the fuck do you want him? He is done now. If he had anything left, he would actually still be there. And then he would play all right, but when he played his former team, he didn't play okay. See, I'm telling you, Jason Taylor, I still never thought was really ever a Jet. I think he played just enough to kind of earn his contract, but not enough to really help the Jets win. Here goes my other drunk uncle coming into the podcast. My other host, 21 Mark Salute, just popped into the building. It was the worst move in Jets franchise history, was hiring the Gaze. And I call him the Gaze, because of his look. Because look, how do you hire somebody that looks like the villain from Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Answer me that. Look at Adam Gaze's first press conference with the New York Jets, and then go back and look at a picture. Actually, you'll find it on my timeline. And then go look at remember the picture of the villain from Who Framed Roger Rabbit, the guy with the red eyes that was bugging out of his eyes, the cartoon character that was actor. That is Adam freaking Gaze. How do you hire the villain from Who Framed Roger Rabbit? How do you do some diabolical shit like, see, all of these things, like they don't add up, and yet they do this shit. And you expect to win. You expect to be successful. Successful franchises don't do that shit. Who hires a loser and expect to win? That's like when the Houston Rockets signed Chris Paul to the Houston when they had James Harden. I'm like, oh, you're gonna have 2 guys that continually fail in the clutch on your team. Oh, what do you happen when you get failed in your clutch squared? Oh, you get a loss in the 7th game when you actually thought you had something. Like, oh, my hamstring again. You pull up tight every single time. Like, man, most disappointing thing ever. But you know what? With all of that said, the New York Jets have still had a better record over the last 5 years over the New York Giants. Because something happened that I didn't even realize. Eli Manning was low-key fucking brilliant. Because they ruined Eli Manning's career by not having you realize the New York Giants problem that they're having now with their offensive line, they had it the last 5 years of Eli Manning's career. If not the last 10 years. Damn near. So those last 5 years when Eli Manning was looking like he was washed, and you wondered why the Giants were with his 8-8 team, and they kept on being struggling. You wonder like, it's because Eli Manning, like he was over there using the most fanciest of footwork to try to get that ball out and actually make that team look productive. All right, dudes, I understand that. Come right back. I appreciate you coming through. Because now when you get these rookies in there, damn Daniel and shit, damn Daniel can't keep upright. Like, damn Daniel can't take care of the ball. Actually, every time I look up, all I say, every game since he has been a professional NFL player, all I say when I watch Giants games is,
Damn, Daniel. You turned over the ball again, Daniel.
every game. He has not failed. I'm just saying, listen, how many turnovers does it take before you get the Jameis Winston treatment? But I told somebody early in the podcast this year, Daniel Jones is not going to last past this season.
You don't think so?
This is his evaluation season. Look what they've done. Outside of getting offense, they thought they had an offensive line, but they had to completely revamp the whole entire thing like a week before the season started because they realized they didn't have anything there. But they got him. They got him a better wide receiver. You have Saquon Barkley coming back. I think they got him. I think they also got him a tight end. Like they went out there and they got him bona fide weapons, and they thought they solidified the offensive line, and the Giants already think that they already have a good defense. This is coming from their front management. This is not me talking. This is how the Giants look at themselves. So this year was going to be an evaluation year for Daniel Jones. If Daniel Jones doesn't come up this year, next year they'll be looking to draft a quarterback. If you haven't heard this anywhere else here yet, then you're hearing it here first. If Daniel Jones has another year like he had last year, if Daniel Jones doesn't show some kind of progress, if Daniel Jones plays like he played this last game, Daniel Jones is going to be like Josh Rosen or whatever his name is. Or he may get the Sam Darnold treatment. They may send him somewhere else. And this place may actually have some real weapons and may actually have an offensive line. But it's so crazy, right? The Giants have been trying to fix their offensive line for a fucking decade. Yet, the Kansas City Chiefs fixed theirs in one offseason.
Facts.
And it was good enough to beat the Cleveland Browns, who is actually a formidable team this year. Like, when you talk about the Cleveland Browns, you're no longer associated with the Doodle Browns. Doodle Browns. Like, no longer are they that. I mean, Cleveland is just, like, Cleveland and the state of Ohio, like, they're just lazy when it comes to their name calling. Cleveland Browns, Cincinnati Reds. Like you just gonna name the teams your just colors? Like, you can't get more creative than that, Ohio? Like, shit. But whatever. It's what y'all do. The Cleveland Browns actually look pretty like we understand that Kansas City won that game against Cleveland. I even expected them to win that game against Cleveland. Did I pick them as one of my teams? No, I didn't. I picked the LA Rams and I picked Baltimore. And we'll talk about the LA Rams a little bit later. And Baltimore's playing tonight. Actually, Baltimore's coming on in a couple minutes. Shit.
Game's coming on, yes. Yes, sir.
I gotta turn this TV on and get this up pretty soon in the background. So, the Cleveland Browns, it's gonna be tough. Let's put it this way. Let me try to frame this first a little bit. The Cleveland Browns made the Baltimore's game tonight a little bit more interesting. Because the Cleveland Browns aren't any pushover, and they're not suckers. They're gonna be here, and they're gonna be competing for a playoff spot. And this is a tough division. You got Pittsburgh.
Yo, real quick. Yay. What up? Yo, Gladys Knight is singing the anthem. That's awesome.
Oh, sweet. Does she have any of her? She has any of her pimps with her?
Nah, none of the pimps. She look good though. for like 90.
90?
Disrespectful to you. She may be like 76. I don't know. To be honest with you.
Shit, she close to 90. She closer to 90 than 50.
You know what? Those are facts. Those are facts. You can't deny facts at all.
Argue that one.
So let's do a quick yeah. So Cleveland lost, right? But they basically lost on a last drive that got intercepted when they were trying to come down and get a game. Basically, they were trying to get a game-winning drive and they got intercepted. And they got intercepted, and that's how they end up losing this game. But they were going toe-to-toe, blow for blow, show to show with the Kansas City Chiefs. Like they were coming at them like, whoa, right? And based off of how good Cleveland can possibly be, right, or even how good they looked in this game against Kansas City, it makes this game against Baltimore real interesting because you want to see how Baltimore's gonna be, because this division is going to be between those three teams, between Pittsburgh, between Baltimore, between Cleveland.
My bad.
And it looks like Pittsburgh is probably going to have the stranglehold on the division and be the favorite. And then it's going to be a toss-up between Baltimore and Cleveland.
No, they won't have a stranglehold.
Baltimore...
They're supposed to be sorry.
Baltimore... We all know that, listen, whatever's going on, but they have the field of screams over there. Like, something's happening and they keep snapping tendons. And right now, they have to piece together their running core. But Lamar Jackson is the new Peyton Manning of the league. What do I mean? He is the most winning quarterback in the league since he's been in it. Like, he has had the best regular season. So, even with some pieces missing, which are running backs, you got other runners. You got 3 other runners, including yourself, that has put up 1,000 yards before. So if they can't last 18 games, who gives a fuck? Give me 6 each. Strong. You can do that. You used to be somebody. You used to be special. You used to be contenders. You can't give me 6 anymore? I'll test their manhood. I'll test their pride. I need 6 good games from each of yous. I'm gonna give you 18 because I'm Action Jackson. I just need 6 from you other old guys. I'm pushing all their buttons. I'm treating them like the Pussycat Dolls. Is that the Pussycat Dolls? Pushing all your buttons, baby. I don't even know who that was.
You can get some fight out of some Ravens. I don't know about them Falcons though. You can't get no fight out of them Falcons though.
We not going back to those Falcons. I can't believe I got hoodwinked again.
I wish I had been here on Friday to hear both of y'all pick.
I did on the wrong. Yo, I was hoodwinked. I was bamboozled.
Led astray, run amok, and flat out deceived by Matt Ryan once again. That's the guy you shit on the most.
Like, I didn't land on the Dirty Birds. The Dirty Birds didn't land on me. I actually landed on them this time.
Don't worry, Jalen. I didn't do that, Jalen Hurts. I didn't do that. I didn't pick against you. I literally.
And you know what else?
Everybody on this podcast knows my saying. I will not pick the Atlanta Falcons to win anything until Matt Ryan is gone.
But you see,
know my saying.
That's what made it saying. That's what. See, I wish you probably were here to talk me out of it because.
Yeah, I definitely would have talked y'all out of that.
You know how much I don't like Matt Ryan, and you know how much I love Jalen Hurts. I love Jalen Hurts.
That really surprises me now that you really did that shit. Cause you love him, hate Tua.
See?
But yet here you are. Here you were out here fucking yourself up. Hate to see it.
Contradicting myself.
Lord have mercy.
Going against my better judgment. And you know what? And to go back to Cleveland, when I said like they did good, Baker Mayfield played well.
See,
75% of his passes.
See,
321 yards.
See, here's the thing though.
Chubb, cunt.
That game, let me tell you, let me put this in perspective here. That game yesterday is why
Kareem Hunt.
is
I'm
why
just so used to calling him cunt by.
it's your fantasy running back. So. Wonderful fantasy running back. Anyway, that game yesterday showed exactly how it played out, how start to finish. That game showed why the Chiefs are the Chiefs and why the Browns are the Browns. They're down. They're coming back. Defense can't stop worth the lick. Honey Badger's out. What does Mahomes do? Roll out, throw that shit up. Tyreek come down with it 75 yards later. Next drive. Punter fumbles the ball. I said, are you serious? The Browns gonna be Browns.
Doodoo Browns. It's Doodoo Browns.
The Browns gonna Brown. Fumbled the ball. I said, oh, it's gonna be another touchdown right here.
But honestly,
touchdown there. And then when it's all on the line, this is Mayfield's chance to show, pay me my money. You play great all day. He had a couple throws that he missed. That he wishes he could have back. But that last play, and even that last play, that's not even his fault. Because at the beginning, you could tell he just wanted to throw that ball out. He just happened to be getting tripped by his feet as he's trying to throw it away. But I'm just like, that's that Browns shit that I'm talking about. But, hey, no disrespect whatsoever. It's just, there's levels to this shit. And the way that game played out from start to finish, Cleveland was in control. But let's be real, did anybody ever really think that game was over? No! You was just sitting waiting for the moment. You was sitting waiting for the moment. Who that?
That's Ronnie. We got callers. We got callers on the line. We got Mark on there. We got Ronnie. I don't know what Chill is still chilling, basically.
Chill Will's probably
chilling.
in hibernation.
We haven't been able to will his way up here yet.
You know what I'm saying? Chill is in hibernation, trying to recover from that loss.
I can understand that.
So
we do have another Cleveland's Brown fan in here. I don't even want to poke at them right now because I'm like,
I'm not poking for.
I was about to poke at them because I wanted to know how they felt that. Like, who names their team the color of shit?
You an ass. You're an ass. I hate it here.
Like, seriously.
I hate it here.
And you expect good fortune? I'm sorry. Okay, you know what? Okay.
Like, that game, it was tailor-made. They were in control of it and everything. And literally, all it was they started doing Cleveland Brown shit. They did. Because, listen, their defense was on point. Mahomes was getting his, but like I said, they weren't scoring. But eventually, this is why we call Patrick Mahomes the next great.
What do we call Patrick? Patrick, your end zone is my homes. Because listen, that's where he lives. Listen, that's what we say. He's like Tom Brady. Like you get like Aaron Rodgers too. You leave them enough time on the clock, and they're
gonna find a way. Somehow, some way, gonna find a way. You're shocked when they don't find a way.
You're real shocked. You're
real shocked when you get blasted 38-3.
We
not there yet.
I'm just saying. Wait, listen. We're not there yet. I'm just saying though, right?
Somebody ate a W.
That's why you're supposed to eat your Wheaties. You can't just be out there in the mountains just smoking the peace pipe and eating sage. You have to remember to get your Ouija's. All of that lavender and lilac, right? those L things ain't gonna help. You gotta get your Wheaties in here. I'm working on it here. I forgot I lost the goddamn remote over here. Oh, there it goes.
All right, come on, guys.
I had to get my eyes together. That's why.
Lord have mercy.
Now,
Action Jackson.
So, let's continue to move forward. I have a question for you guys. Do you know who were players with the top 5 QBRs over the week?
Oh, number one, gotta be turnover chain.
Jameis Winston.
He's one of them. He's number 4.
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady is not one.
It can't be. He had too many turnovers.
What
Jalen
about
Hurts.
Russell Wilson?
Russell Wilson is number 2.
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts is not one.
Jalen Hurts not on there.
But he
What
was
the
7th.
fuck?
But he was 7th.
Okay, who else? Darnold?
Mariota? I mean, not Mariota, but Justin Herbert?
No.
Justin Herbert is not one.
He had an interception. I go through this shit.
Ooh, I don't know. I don't know who the other ones are.
Okay.
Hold on. Don't say nothing.
Oh,
yet. Don't say
wait.
nothing.
Matthew Stafford.
Matthew
Yeah, I was about
Stafford
to say,
is
Stafford gotta
number
be-
1. So you got the number 1 Matthew Stafford. You got the number 2 Russell Wilson. You got the number 3 Patrick Mahomes. Oh, my bad. You guys didn't say.
We didn't say Patrick Mahomes yet.
My bad. You got the number 4 Jameis Winston.
Wait, Kyler Murray not on there?
No,
Kyler Murray. Oh, he was one.
He balled yesterday too.
he definitely.
Yeah,
Was he like
he's
6?
fucking-
He got to be like 6 or something.
He's in the top
Yeah,
10.
the Titans.
Hey, they fucked my ticket up. So Tennessee, fuck you guys for
And the
a
number
little bit.
5, 5th one, you got. It's a little close to the. It's kind of close to the place that we was just making fun of. Smoking Joe Burrow. Smoking Joe Burrow.
Yes!
Number 5.
Shout out to Cincinnati. This is the only time I'll ever, as a Steelers fan, shout y'all out because I picked you guys to pull the upset on my fucking parlay ticket, and you came through. Big up to y'all.
So
Fucking Tennessee, go fuck yourselves. You screwed up my other ticket, bitches.
number 1 QBR this past week, Matthew Stafford with the LA Rams versus Chicago.
Hey, so far, return investment looking good after 1 week.
Can we? So, like, it's safe to say so far right now that we got basically exactly what we was hoping to get from Matthew Stafford going to the LA Rams.
Ooh, I can't wait. I can't wait for Tampa, LA in 2 weeks. Ooh,
That is gonna be nice.
If Stafford looked the way he looked like that, and in that Bucks team in LA, 4:30 that game 2 weeks from. Oh man, when I tell you, do not disturb, airplane mode. If you calling me, it better be death or life or death, because. Whew. And even then, it depends on the name who's calling me. Let me be somebody that I'm lukewarm with. Man, you had a nice life. It's God calling you home.
So, LA Rams, Tampa Bay is probably the 2 teams that we're probably gonna consider right now, based off how they're looking as the 2 favorites coming out the NFC.
Can't sleep on Seattle. I won't do that to them.
I-
And San Francisco too.
I'll say
that whole NFC West, yo. Whoever comes out that shit, this is my problem. This is why I'm not the biggest believer in NFC West. Whoever comes out that division is gonna be so fucking beat up that by the time you go see Brady, you might not have enough left to deal with you.
I have a question though. When did we go from a team being beat up versus a team being battle tested?
There's a difference,
Yeah,
man.
I agree.
Battle tested, yeah. But have you seen some of these NFC West games over the last few years?
They're kind of like
Bloodbaths.
listen. They're kind of like they're kind of like
Oh,
that
no.
Pittsburgh
No.
and Baltimore division. Like we've been
listen,
seeing this.
Listen, here's your perfect example. That Rams Seattle game in the playoffs last year, right? Bloodbath, right? Did the Rams have anything left in them by the time they went to Green Bay the next week?
Pink mist.
Come on now. Got smoked out off the field.
Yo, the NFC West is like the NFC East, but like
Huh?
opposite.
Don't you ever put those two oxymorons together.
Listen, man. Listen to what I said though.
He
NFC East
means
and the
competitive
NFC
wise.
West. But the West is opposite. They all good, so they beat on each other. You know what I'm saying? And the East is all bad, and they just lose to each other.
Okay.
I'm just saying. You know, working too. You know what I'm saying? I just throw that in there real quick.
I kind of knew where he was going when he said that. Like I had an idea. I want to see how Baltimore's gonna
You know,
look.
but you understand what I'm saying, right? It's like
Their division is
It's the opposite.
Yeah,
like they beat on each other to be good.
Yeah.
The others beat on each other to be bad.
Yeah, but like, because like somebody has to win a division.
Oh, speaking of NFC, time ticking.
Time and the East, everybody
Time
beats on the
ticking on
East.
Daniel Jones.
Well, we gonna talk about him. We already briefed them today, but we gonna talk about them. We gonna talk about him on Wednesday. But we already gave without breaking down the game. I already told Ronnie because
Time is ticking.
Ronnie, I forgot you. Ronnie said something about him.
All of them.
But then also somebody in the comments had mentioned that Cam Newton should go to the Giants, and I told him that. Oh, Ronnie, I told Ronnie that Daniel Jones is going after this year. Somebody also
And Gettleman.
Somebody also mentioned that Cam Newton should go to the Giants. I'm like, Cam Newton's not going to the Giants this year. This is Daniel Jones' evaluation year.
Exactly.
They've got him. They've got him in what they believe, everything that they need to get him to be successful, except for
that O line. That O line is still shitty. Let's be real.
And
but he can't combat the issues by turning the ball over. If you do what you gotta, if you get your ass whooped because that O line can't protect you, that's one thing. They can't knock you for that. But if you still go turn the goddamn football over, you can't move out the pocket, we still fumbling, throwing interceptions, then nigga, you just as much as part of the problem.
This is his third year in the league, right? This is officially his third year in the league, right?
I believe so. Yes. Daniel Jones, third or fourth? One of the
third.
Yeah,
I
I
think
it's third or fourth.
This is third year in the league. You realize in 3 years, he got his own drop. Very quickly. We ain't need no proof of the pudding. No some more time.
Oh no.
Damn, Daniel. You turned over the ball again, Daniel.
He is a turnover machine.
He got that first.
Damn,
he
you
got
saw
that
what
drop
Derek
the
Carr
first.
did?
He got that drop first year. He got that drop his first year.
Exactly.
Just like he got that damn nickname. Danny Dimes.
They calling him Danny Dimes, and I'm calling him Damn Daniel.
Danny Pennies.
Derek Carr, yo, I swear to God, he living up to his last name.
Man, that's the center snapping the ball way before he was. He's literally he's signaling something to a receiver. You missed it. He turned the way he's signaling.
Get it.
No.
But
one thing for sure. One thing about Derek Carr, I literally think he's a good player. Caught in a very very shitty team. I feel like he's another borderline Stafford.
Oh, he's being held hostage in Las Vegas.
That's what I'm saying.
And you know somebody too?
No.
He's being held hostage, and the person that he's with flirts with other people all the time.
Listen. What's it called? One thing about David Carr, he at least had one season where he was a legitimate MVP candidate in this league. We didn't say that about Stafford at one point.
He was an MVP candidate.
Stafford?
Stafford? At some point in a season, he has been an MVP candidate.
You want to know why? Because Detroit has never won more than 9 games with him as the quarterback. You're not no MVP candidate when you can't win no more than 9 games.
I said his name was...
No. Derek Carr was legit in terms of actually top 3 conversation in 2016, I think it was. But that was the year that week 14 or 15, it was the same thing like Carson Wentz. He fucked up his leg.
Hey, I'm not gonna strongly fight you against this. Listen,
I'm just saying. I just feel like Derek Carr's another one of those quarterbacks where it's just like, you know what? I would love to see you in a real situation. Because one thing for sure, in that division, listen, it's a wrap for you. It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Yeah, you set up to fail.
You got Mahomes. You got Mahomes in there now. You
lost your window.
The window's way gone. The young kid Herbert in LA.
You got Mahomes there, and then you lost your best pass rusher, and you lost your best wide receiver, but you gained a talking doll.
Literally, I'm saying, man,
And
I would just like to see him traded to a much better situation. You see, perfect example. I wouldn't mind seeing Derek Carr in Carson Wentz's position in Indianapolis. Or in Ryan Tannehill's shoes in Tennessee.
You know what?
Or even with Shanahan in San Francisco.
Let's stop there. Let's talk about Miami's trash. We talked about the gays earlier. let's continue to talk about Miami's trash,
The
right?
fucking game.
Because we had a couple of shockers. We had a couple of big time shockers.
There was a lot of shockers. What did I hear? Eight underdogs outright won games yesterday.
So I mean, but we had a couple of shockers, right? Of the game, especially games we're gonna talk about today. We had a couple of shockers. Now, when we was doing our picks on the show last Friday, right? It was just Mark and I. You weren't here.
I know that stadium.
But I was teetering on the Arizona Tennessee game, right? And you guys know how I feel about Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray has flat out earned my respect, right? I started off his career by calling him Kyler. I should have played baseball, Murray. And I also prefaced by everybody like, listen, you could take this one of two ways. If he's really what they say he is, and he's that kind of athlete, he should have gone play baseball. Because the money he's going to make over his career in football, he's going to make during his first major contract in baseball. Guaranteed. Fully. If he's really the athlete. So whether he did good or he... So what I was saying basically, whether...
Get out of here. Get out of here.
Oh, give him a block!
Oh, a fantasy quarterback right there. Hey, flag. Don't you be pushing my fantasy quarterback like that.
So whether he did good or whether he did bad, my preface is still, he is Kyler. I should have played baseball, Murray. Because if you were bad, you should have played baseball. And if you're really that good of an athlete, you should have played baseball, B. Like, you could have been there racking up. But I also gave him a other pseudo nickname. Like, after his first year. I called him Kyler, I got next Murray. Because that's basically what he's been telling the league. Like, I know I may be short in stature, but I'm the next Lamar Jackson in a sense. Like, you guys better respect me.
Yeah.
And respect me good.
Yeah. I wouldn't even say that. Because he can throw the ball better than Lamar
He can.
Jackson.
He can. And that he can. Much better.
I would call him Michael Vick if he took this shit seriously his whole career.
You know, so I was on the fence and I was telling myself, well, listen, Tennessee just got a second wide receiver to add to their running game, right? But
their defense was supposed to get better.
You know what I mean?
Tannehill, top 10 quarterback.
Like, the only loss they really took was their offensive coordinator, right? Which
he got his ass tapped by Philadelphia.
Which is bigger. It's a bigger deal. Sometimes you make out sometimes, but they kept a lot of their personnel, and they added a really good wide receiver to be a number 2 or number 3, wherever they want to put him at times. Even though he's over here fighting his own teammates or whatever the hell he was doing.
Yo, you know what's funny? My bad to interrupt, but you know what's crazy, T? When we were talking about that Tennessee Arizona game, and we were both on the fence, and then you was like, you know what? I'm going with Arizona.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, I'll go with Tennessee because they're home. Because if Arizona was at home, I would have took Arizona. And what Arizona did, they don't need to be home, or you know what I'm saying? They don't have to be home to play the way they did.
Nah, like
I hadn't seen anything from Arizona that was gonna move me. But that's what it was. From what I've seen Tennessee in terms of moves they made, not even just the Julio aspect. I'm talking like defense, another year of continuity and whatnot. I thought Tennessee would win, but like a nail biting, like 30-27, 31-28. But it didn't. I also was saying it wasn't. I also was saying it wasn't gonna shock me if Arizona won. What shocked me is how they won.
Exactly.
The ass whooping that they gave.
Because you know what? With all the goods and bads that I'm saying, right? Because I'm thinking about both of these teams in the same sense. They both added a wide receiver, veteran wide receiver, right?
Yes.
They both have a way to run the ball, right? With one's using their running back, one's using their quarterback. They both have a way to run the ball. They both have pretty good defenses, right?
I'm
gonna tell you there was two factors. One was Tannehill versus Kyler Murray, right? Like that was one of the factors. And shit, you made me forget my actual.
That's a factor, but my deciding factor in terms of why I picked Tennessee, coaching.
But
coaching.
I'm gonna tell you-
I trust
that's what
I
it is.
trust Vrabel more than I trusted Kingsbury.
And I actually said it backwards. I gave away the nugget. I was gonna pick Tennessee because of the fact they're a little bit more battle tested than Arizona.
Yes.
This is when battle tested, when we really talk about battle tested. Like, they've been really trying to get that next step in the playoffs to get to the conference or get to the Super Bowl. Arizona is
It's
still
just trying to get into the door.
exactly. So
for Tennessee to lay that
so
type
so
of
so when I
stinker?
so even when I picked Arizona, it was more like, you know what? I can't go for something that Gaze had his hands all over, right? Like
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Tennessee has washed that gayness off him.
I don't know, because last
Tennessee-
week he still looked a little fugazi.
Tennessee, listen,
Like-
I'm not letting one game play me like that when it comes to Tannehill. I've seen enough over the last year and a half to be like, okay, the gaze has been washed off him. I'm not letting one game, the week one game, do that. Now, if we see a pattern of it, then I'm like, okay. But like I said, I'm not letting one game do that. I'm not letting one game do that. Not at all.
So this one, and that's what. So maybe this and like we said, so while Arizona won this game and not surprised that they won, it's more surprising that they blew them the fuck out, 38-13.
I was sitting waiting for the comeback.
Like you,
I was hoping for the comeback for the sake of my parlay. Fuck.
Cause this is a morning game, right? And we're looking at and now that you're here, let me give you the rules, KJ, because you weren't here for us to go over the official rules of the 3-2-1s. All right, so
Yeah, y'all put that in time. I'm gonna just ignore this. I don't know what they're talking about.
well, I told you about the 3-2-1 last year. I've been told you that we're gonna pick 3 games and we're gonna give them a point system. We're gonna give one
This
3.
nigga got gold cleats. He about to go off tonight.
Remember, but you know, I did mention that last year. We're gonna pick 3 games. One game we're gonna give 3 points. One game we're gonna give 2 points. One game we're gonna give 1 point.
All right, so just put all my.
I think I lost my games,
point.
didn't I?
No. I just gave them in order. I just put them in order 3-2-1 as you gave them to me. So, but the way we're gonna do this,
I
right?
think I lost my game, didn't I?
You lost
I'm
almost. You lost almost all your games.
Yeah. So,
Like you have to. We still have to see about this game. So also how we're gonna do it, right? We're gonna do one game from the afternoon games, which includes Thursday night. If you want to pick the Thursday night game, we're gonna do one game from the evening games, right? And then we're gonna do them. And then we're all gonna pick them. We're all gonna pick from the Monday night game as well. So we have one game where we're all going head to head to make things a little spicier.
because I picked Green Bay, lost that one.
Yeah, and you picked.
Why? Why did you pick them?
I think I picked the Bills.
You picked the Bills and you
lost
lost
that.
them. And you picked the Rams and you're about to lose them. I mean, you picked the Raiders and you're about to lose them. You about to come up with no points this week.
Nah. Pick the Bills. I'm losing the Raiders. I gotta get at least 1 point.
That's your one.
Is there
And that's the
a
funny
way-
thing. That's your 1 pointer that's left. That's your 1 pointer.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you lost your 3-pointer. You lost your 2-pointer.
Is there a way we can call Lou up in here? Because he was talking some shit to me last week. I just registered it. You know what I'm saying? He talks some shit.
Lou
He's like, hey KJ, I want to send my condolences. I'm like, what? For your first loss that you about to tell? I was like, oh, okay.
Who said that, Lou?
Yeah, Lou said that. I said, okay.
Let me see if I can text Lou real quick and see if I can drag him in here.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, hey, like I said,
What is that? What is that?
mute.
Is that a birthday party?
It sounds like it needs to be muted.
Is that a birthday party, Mark? What's going on back there?
No, I was looking at something. I was looking at something on Instagram.
Oh, that was Ronnie. Oh. What are you looking at? Children's birthday parties?
No, they were saying. Oh, Joe.
Yo, you know what's funny? Because KJ, you was talking about condolences, whatever, and then I heard that Ronnie I heard the background. Like I thought that was one of your I
of
thought
the
you hit the
drops?
computer for one of your effects and shit. I was like, damn, that shit's perfect timing. It was like, or some shit like that. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, but like I
These
told
niggas on point.
But like I told you, T, I'm not overreacting to anything the Steelers do, because like I said, we supposed to be garbage. We supposed to be garbage this year. So Steelers beat the Browns.
Carr looks the same.
Oh well.
Carr looks the same since his rookie year.
Who?
Huh?
Carl.
No.
Derek Carr looks the
Oh,
same from
Derek
his
Carr.
rookie
Oh.
year, bro.
Seeing the way he's playing.
Oh, you
playing
mean
the same way he's been playing
Oh.
since he's been a rookie.
Oh, I thought you meant like
So
age-wise.
so the MVP.
Like no better, no worse.
I mean, that's not really good.
All I know is there was a
shit.
year he was an MVP.
That's what I'm
candidate.
saying. It's not good. It's not good at all. Oh, that one year, yeah, he did ball out that.
You also
one year.
wasn't. You also
Yeah.
know.
Fuck to thank for.
Broke his
also-
leg, and it
Yo-
was over. They won 12 games that year.
Oh, he almost
Yeah.
had that.
Yeah.
That was almost an interception.
It was almost an interception, a fire ass interception too. He didn't have enough sticky shit on his gloves. That's why he didn't catch that shit.
That's why he's a
He had the right
DB.
gloves on.
He has the wrong gloves on. He needs to get the wide receiver gloves.
No, see, this right here is why he plays DB. That's what that is.
Oh, look at that! Look at that! Look at that! Oh my God! You fucking defensive back,
Your
you.
coach is yelling, "That's why your ass play defensive back, nigga." And you
Nah.
want to play wide receiver.
If you look at that, he needed the Odell Beckham edition gloves. He needed those
All
shits.
he had to do is put his left hand up from the beginning.
Did
All you
Odell
have to do is
play
put it-
yesterday? 'Cause I don't think I saw him.
He was out. He was injured.
Hey Blake,
Was he
he was
injured?
out.
Oh,
His knee.
oh, really? Nice. Cause I know somebody drafted him in our
This
league.
dude, man, this dude sucks.
I was happy for that. Actually, I thought it was a sneaky good pick when he first picked him. Now I'm happy. I think it was
Dude,
Fluffy or
fuck
some
sucks.
shit. So, speaking of also complete shockers, right? And shit that just didn't look bad. I know normally we are told that we need to RELAX.
Not at all.
But
I'm going first. You don't even need to say it. What the fuck? Listen, Aaron Rodgers is my favorite quarterback. What I saw yesterday, I had never, ever been so disappointed in Aaron Rodgers in watching him play football ever.
and he lost to my favorite quarterback.
Turn of a chink, 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 turn of a chink.
Yo.
We'll get to turn of a chain, but we have to worry about the ugly first. Let's get the ugly out the way. What the fuck, bro? I'm watching the game with people, and you literally have motherfuckers thinking that he's throwing the game. That's how bad you played.
Yo,
You don't do what you did in the offseason, come back the very first time you step on another field and lay that stinker. There were some passes that he threw yesterday. I'm like, yo, this is not what you do. I was literally like, yo, what the fuck is that? That interception in the red zone like that, jumping in the air and just throwing it way behind Devontae. I'm like, yo, what? You don't do that. The second one where he just threw it up for grabs to Valdez-Scantling. For one, Valdez-Scantling not even like that to be thrown up to him like that. And then on top of that, you overthrew his ass anyway? Come on, man. Matt LaFleur, what the fuck was some of these play calling? You didn't run the ball. You didn't do your play action. You didn't do nothing. That defense, once again, is back to being fucking sorry. You got rid of the defensive coordinator last year who had you a top 10 defense. For what? For you to look like that? For you to look like that?
okay.
And then we supposed to just chill? No, you don't pull the bullshit that you pulled last in the offseason. God damn it. Shut up. You don't pull that bullshit that you pulled and you get your ass whooped like that by a team that not like everybody think they're gonna fall off, but they have no business whooping you like that. None. None at all. None at all. No business.
None at all. No business. Now, to go back to our picks, right? Before we get into the game, right? Like you picked Green Bay. Green Bay was one of your picks, right? Based off your order, this was your one pick. This is your 1 point pick.
Thank God that was my one pick. Chiefs for 3.
Because I figured
Rams for 2.
I wasn't
got
sure,
5.
like, cause I was like, listen, it was gonna be one of two ways. I was like, either he picks the Chiefs because Kansas City is a surefire thing as his number 3.
Oh, they were a lot.
Or his
They were a
love for Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers was gonna make Green Bay number 3, and Kansas City was gonna be your one game. Like,
Kansas City was not gonna be my one game, that's for sure.
so
At the crib, first game with the fans and the Browns. Would the Browns be in the Browns? No.
So basically the way I give you, like, you only lost your 1 point game, but I was on the fence on this game. And I was going back and forth when we was doing the pick. And at the last second I said, you know what? I'm gonna tell you guys again in case you guys haven't heard this. Jameis Winston may have foregone probably one of the best transformations that you can go and do in a long time.
Gracefully, it's beautiful transformation, man.
So you guys have to remember, like, let's start it with the first. Let's start it with the fact that he is a guy that can throw for 5,000 yards in a season.
He gave him 5, kid.
He is a guy that can put up 30+ touchdowns in a season.
5.
When he lost his job in Tampa and went to New Orleans, he was learning from a guy that really is all-time great head coach, but also a guy that really is a quarterback coach. Not like the gays that claimed to be when he had Peyton Manning in his prime, when he already had his shit together. I'm not going down that road. But he learned from a real head coach.
Peyton Manning is really on your mind in a very bad way. I don't like how hostile you getting when you say his name.
No, I'm not talking bad about Peyton Manning.
Okay. All right.
We're talking about the gays.
Oh, yeah, no, I ain't gonna hold you. In that regard, you can get hostile when you say Peyton Manning's name. You can do that. You can do that. Motherfuckers, offensive coordinator for Peyton Manning, and people think they're a great. Motherfucker, we know who the offensive coordinator who it is on a team that Peyton Manning's a quarterback on. We know who it is.
Exactly. So when you get Peyton Manning on his prime,
that's why Peyton Manning was setting the motherfucking market as a quarterback, because motherfuckers knew he was not only just a quarterback, he was an offensive damn coordinator. Shitting me.
Like Peyton Manning wasn't gathering all of his players in the off season, working on routes,
making plays,
so that they can they can get their timing down.
Here. New England was whooping our ass. New England keep whipping our ass doing this. So let's do this instead and see if we can catch them. You think that was the old ass offensive coordinators who was doing that for him? No. Peyton Manning's offensive coordinator. Adam Gase is the youngest motherfucker he's had. Before then, all his offensive coordinators were, I swear, they were one day close to the grave. Every damn day you look at them, they look stressed the hell out on that sideline. Tom Moore. Trust me, if I'm an offensive coordinator and Peyton Manning's my quarterback, I'd be stressed the hell out too. That motherfucker probably be calling me fucking 3 a.m. trying to get some sleep. Calling me about some weird shit.
So, yeah, so to go back on him, like, he learned from a real quarterback. I mean, from a real head coach, as a real quarterback whisperer. He learned from one of the GOAT quarterbacks of the league that had to overcome two things: a bum shoulder and a height deficiency, to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league. When he went into that scenario, he didn't go in with a big head. He went in super humble, taking notes. He went there to learn. He knew that if I fuck this up, fucking this up will be fucking up one of the best opportunities I'm gonna have, even outside of, and I had a great opportunity in Tampa. And I moved to a better opportunity. If I fuck this up, I'm gonna end up in Detroit or some shit. Denver. And think of how he is culturally wise too. New Orleans is way better.
Next year?
Well, definitely. But even though him culturally wise, I think New Orleans is better for him culturally than Denver or Detroit. You know what I mean? Like, I think he prefer. I think
with the guy talking, we're gonna bite their kneecaps. What?
I think he prefers the Big Easy. You know what I mean? And more like, listen. What better place for a guy that wants people to show him their pussy than Mardi Gras?
Now that you say that, that might be the absolute worst place for him to be. Get him out of there.
Listen, it's not like he's gonna have like 22 masseuses. Like, he'd be alright. I think he'd be alright. But he went there humbled. He went there ready to take notes. We have a touchdown by Baltimore. Right, so they put the first points on the game. The score is now 6-0 with just about 1 minute left, minute and a half to go in the first quarter, and I see a Raiders fan looking highly pissed off in the stands. So Jameis Winston got himself to a better scenario. And then the very last, and the thing that really, to me, was the icing on the cake, right? Like the cherry on the top, was we heard that he got LASIK surgery to fix his eyes. He no longer had to worry about contacts, forgetting them. He not had to worry about having bad eyesight, squinting over the side, looking like that chick in the memes. You know what I mean? Like we didn't have to do none of that. It was pure. It was easy. It was simple. He went out there with no Mike Thomas, with basically the guy that's their best weapon, and he got it done. 5? Was it 5?
5 of them things.
Hold on. 1 second. Because if it was 5, that means we're gonna need the help of a king to describe how many times he got into the end zone.
5 time.
Thank you, King Booker. No interceptions. And I remember I told people, just imagine, right? Like, without my glasses, I still don't think I have really bad eyesight. But if things are moving at a high pace, right? Adrenaline is going, and I'm trying to see 30, 40, 50 yards away, I may start confusing people. If they're not where I kind of expected them to be, I may overthrow something or underthrow something. You know what I mean? Like you can easily see where his timing issues were down the field, because he didn't have problems short field. Short field, he was great, but he didn't throw short field a lot because he had a coach that his motto was "No risky, no bisky." Well, if you tell no risky, no bisky to a guy that likes to grab him by the pussy, now how the fuck you expect to happen? Sticky fingers. Or slippery fingers is what I'm trying to say here. But again, it's not the fact that they lost, right? Because even I kind of saw a way where New Orleans could beat Green Bay at home. With all of that said, it's the way that you lost.
Ass whooping.
Like, A01 was not looking good. Like, A01, like, you know, like, there's an image of him how, like, afterwards. I guess he got like a new haircut, whatever. But you know how his new haircut makes him look like old and shit like that? Well, he looked like how he played, or he played like how he looks. He looked like an old man out there. He looked like the game has kind of passed him by.
Who?
Aaron Rodgers.
No, he didn't do that. He looked like somebody who didn't care. Game passed him by. What the fuck? Watch your mouth.
Listen. I'm not saying that he didn't, that the game did pass him by. I'm just saying he looked like it.
Like I said, watch your mouth. He played like he didn't care. He played like somebody who was throwing the game.
But that's another thing to take in consideration. Like, you did all of this for the whole entire offseason? Make us bring in your dude all over again? For you to look like straight dog shit?
Dog shit.
What's bigger than elephant shit? In the middle of a performance at the Ringling Brothers and Ballroom and Braley Circus? Like that kind of shit. Like, oh, let me take this shit when I have everybody watching and just poop in the middle of the fucking thing. Oh, you thought I was going to do a trick? No. Big old elephant shit in the middle of the place.
That shit's so nasty.
So now the elephant is the room. Like, you keep Aaron. Like, do you find a trade for Aaron Rodgers? Do you trade him mid-season? Do you try to find that home for him? If you're his front office, do you during the season are you looking for trade offers for him now?
No. Because I don't know who in the hell. If you didn't want to trade him in the offseason, why in the fucking hell would you want to trade him during the regular season?
To make room for their new guy.
In the middle of the season, this is not basketball. Basketball is different than football.
So let me ask you this then. If Aaron Rodgers plays like this for 4 to 5 games, do they bench him for the youngin?
Shit, they already did it yesterday.
Hell no. Hell no.
They already did it yesterday.
Now, that wasn't benching him for the youngin. That was pulling your starters because it's a blowout. Like that's different.
I mean, but going through what we already went through in the offseason, if that kid sees the field, you automatically know that that's what we're going to. We're not going to you pull your starters. We're going to you put Jordan Love in the game and took Aaron Rodgers out after the offseason that just went down in the first game of the year.
Ooh. Did he get that?
Nope.
No. The defender. No. He could have. He was paying attention. If he wasn't so focused on the hit and he was a little bit more focused on the ball, he could have got that interception.
Hey, everybody can't be Ed Reed.
I was just thinking with Darrelle Revis, but okay.
Everybody can't be Ed Reed, dog.
Darrelle Revis could.
Darrelle Revis ain't no Ed Reed. Watch him out.
I'm saying that Darrelle Revis would have gotten that ball.
Well, I don't know.
Like I said, everybody can't be Ed Reed.
I don't know.
But Ed Revis could. But Darrelle Revis could.
These niggas are bums.
Huh? Excuse me?
What?
Derek Carr is a scrub and a half.
Oh, gee. We
My
talking
God,
about
he sucks.
we talking about Darrelle Reeves, Ed Reed. I thought he was talking about both of them, or Scott. I was about ready to rip him to shreds. I was about to rip him to shreds.
That's why I said Derek Carr. I was like, I made sure I threw that shit in there.
I said what?
Well, you know what? That's a perfect time for us to pause. Like, speaking of ripping shit to shreds, right? This is a perfect time for us to bring in Blue Chew, folks, right? Because let's let you know that if you're having problems, you can go ahead and take yourself some Blue Chew, and you can rip that pussy to shreds. I'm just saying, you can beat it up.
Okay, Jameis.
Like a salt shaker. You can eat your W's, and we're talking about the womb. You know what I mean? Get all up in it.
Okay, turn of a chain.
Listen, man, I love me some Jameis Winston. And it's funny because when you said that Aaron Rodgers was your favorite quarterback in the league, and it made me realize at that moment that I think Jameis Winston is my favorite quarterback in the league. There is no other quarterback I really do like more than him.
But you a toxic motherfucker because you love him for the toxicity. That's the problem.
I love him for the whole damn package. I love him for who he is.
You love him for the toxicity.
Mine's is Dak.
Anyway.
Mine's is Dak. My favorite quarterback.
If you could have seen my face, just go completely blank after that. No,
I'm
because
just saying, you didn't my favorite quarterback.
I
my
love
favorite
him.
Quarterback is Dak.
I love him right now. 5 touchdowns. W. Eating the Wheaties.
Wait till he has a 4 interception game.
I'm gonna love him for his flaws too. He's still my favorite quarterback.
You know he sound
I love
like
him for his good and I love him for the bad.
He sound like the father that'll always love his kid.
He's my golden goose.
It's like you went out and got 5 touchdowns. I love you, son. You went out and threw 4 interceptions. I love you, son.
I'm gonna cuss you out. I'm gonna make fun of you.
You garbage motherfucker, but I love you, son.
Like you gonna get a big ass speech in the car, the whole entire car ride home. But I don't love you. I'm not.
You already know that.
Like,
You
listen,
know, I do that shit all day.
like you better be lucky. Like you're not eating dinner tonight, but you can eat some porridge or some bread. Like, have another game like that again. You'd be lucky to get porridge. I'm gonna be one of those people. But I'm gonna let you know the person that you don't have to be. You don't have to be the kind of person that has problems in the bedroom, or you don't have to be the person that always looking for that little extra quick. Because whether you have problems or you just want to beat it up properly all night long, you know what I'm talking about. That Richard, that Lionel Richie. You know what I mean? And if you don't know what I'm talking about Blue Chew, folks. Blue Chew, if you don't know, is that little blue pill that gives you back the thrill. All you have to do is open up a pack and then head to the sack, or head to the bathroom, or to the kitchen, or on top of the table, or behind the curtains, wherever you can get your freaky on. But I'm gonna tell you what you do is just a few chews before you do with the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis. I'm gonna say that again. As with the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, this is one opportunity that you just can't miss. She's gonna love how you come through like a champ when you Blue Chew in advance. And if you use this week's promo code of VLFH, that's V as in Victor, L as in Lima, F as in Fox, H as in Hotel. Down to my hotel, baby, I can give you my room key. You understand? VLFH. You'll get $20 off your first order. Let me break this down for you a little bit more so it can officially and forever be broke, but to help you get up, right? That's basically you getting your first order for free. The only thing you have to do is pay shipping and handling, folks. I'm going to tell you, long story short, just chew it and do it with Blue Chew.
Do it.
Just chew it, when you have to go do it. Just chew it, when you have to go do it.
That's what it's like.
Right before you blow. Blue Chew. I swear to God, one day I'm gonna make a Blue Chew commercial, like a cologne or a fucking thing, or like a perfume commercial. Have a chick like pop out like like the fucking swimming pool. You hear somebody playing in a harp in like the downstairs living room and shit like that. You see somebody, and then you see a gentleman walk into the room. He has a plate. They unlift the cover. It's 2 Blue Chew pills, and they go, Blue Chew, chew it and do it.
Be like the Dos Equis commercial.
Yo,
Stay horny, my friend. Yo,
Or she comes out the bathroom, my man's chewing on something, and she's like, "What you chewing?" He's like, "Nothing."
you in about 15 minutes. Yo, I seen a wild shit on Instagram, yo. I seen this post say, my supervisor,
Sucks.
my supervisor said, "What you doing on the phone?" Me, on Indeed. Why?
Yo, that's a flex. That's a complete flex.
I saw that shit. I say, yo, if I was that supervisor, I'm firing you immediately.
Like, oh, okay.
Like, oh, you on Indeed right now? Oh, hey, you better speed it up, cause you fired, bitch.
But but then like, okay, I mean, you can fire them for being on their phone while they're not supposed to. And that's company policy. But I mean, they could be looking for a second job because you ain't paying them enough.
That ain't my fault. I'm just the supervisor. I don't control how much you get paid. Take that shit up to HR.
You know what I mean? So like, that's just funny. So we had Green Bay that took a bad loss. Tennessee took a bad loss. Like Aaron Rodgers obviously like his career ain't over. Like this ain't like, oh, woe is me. But it is concerning. And it makes you now watch him in a different way. Like, hey, is this going to be your new pattern? But you know what though? Next week they take on
The Lions on Monday Night Football.
So basically, we could call that a bounce back.
Jared Goff.
We could call that a bounce back game.
Fuck that. They almost came back on the 49ers After being down 24.
And then the week after that, they played. That's not New England. They played San Francisco. That's gonna be a tough one.
That's an L.
So
that's a hot L. That's a hot L from Club Shay Shay.
And then they play the Giants. So no, sorry, that's New Orleans again. I keep looking at. Why I keep looking at New Orleans for them?
Because you love turn of a chain. Who am I
looking? Oh, who are we talking about?
I thought you were talking about the Packers schedule.
There we go. Thank you for reminding me. Then they play Pittsburgh. That's another L. Then they play Washington.
Yeesh. And that offensive line ain't right yet. You see that D-line? Lord have mercy.
And then they have a bye.
You better get your shit together.
So if they're...
You better get it together.
If they're 2-3 to start the season...
That offensive line is ass. How the fuck? He got around you so quick.
Oh, he's getting gobbled.
Yo. I know Baltimore's defense is that shit.
They're hype. It's the first game of the season. You know how Baltimore is...
Yo! That nigga blocked like his ass should be on the practice squad.
Baltimore is a professional football team. Oh my God.
He fumbled the ball. Oh. Lord have mercy.
As soon as I call them professionals, he goes fumble that shit. But Baltimore is a professional organization. Like, they are a full-blown professional organization. They were going to have their team prepared physically and mentally for this game, regardless of how many running backs are gone. Especially that defense, which is already good. They're going to tell them even more so, hey, you're probably going to need to help carry us a little bit because we're going to have to play with this clock a little bit because, hey, we're missing this. So, like, they're a little extra hype. Like, yo, like, come on. Like, Baltimore for a long time has been one of the teams that I've rooted for because I love me some Ray Lewis. Ray Lewis is like one of the only people I'll run through a wall for when I hear them talk. It's him and Bart Scott. At least attempt to. Like, I can't run through any walls anymore, but at least I'll attempt to. I'll definitely attempt to do one.
Can't wait.
Oh shit! Is it that time already?
9:07.
There's a reminder for Talon.
Okay, folks, you guys know what that means, folks. At 9:07, what we like to do is that we like to give a little shout out, a little tribute, what we call the 21 light salute in regards to everybody that has been affected by COVID-19. But this isn't something that I have started. This was something started by my lovely co-host, one of the drunk uncles on the podcast, Mark over here. So this is actually his thing. I'm gonna let him talk about it. Mark, go ahead, take it away.
Yo, yay.
Yo.
Just giving a shout out to those that passed away by flicking lights 7 times from 9:03 to 9:10. It's called the 21 light salute. Let's salute those that pass by flicking lights 7 times. Go ahead, T.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get those light flicks. All right, that's 1. No, we're not done. 2, we're almost through. 3, from me to you. 4, we're gonna go some more. 5, we're gonna stay alive. 6, we're in the mix. And 7, for all those that were lost in heaven, folks. That's the 21 light salute.
Yay, 2 chains.
I know that shit popped in my head the last time. It really did. I was like, oh shit, because it reminded me of an old army cadence. So I was like, oh shit, you know what I mean? But that shit started popping in my head.
Nice. Oh my God, this dude, the Raiders are just gonna have that type of year. Remember when I say they perform like they win one extra game every year? I don't know if they're gonna do that this year.
Were you guys here for my story about Urban Meyers? Mark or KJ?
On Friday or something?
No. Okay, so no. So it was just me and Thing there. So did you hear about Urban Meyers wanting to retire?
Already?
Ha!
Stop it. It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me, honestly. Because you know that
was
motherfucker.
Perfect. I'm so glad, that reaction. Yeah. From both of you, yeah, you guys definitely did hear that shit.
Listen, it wouldn't surprise me because from that motherfucker, as soon as this shit gets any type of tough, I'm out the door. Don't worry, that nigga be back over at LSU or UC or USC or some shit.
That's what Ryan Clark said.
very, very soon.
Oh damn! I didn't even notice I had somebody.
Yeah. Look at this shit here. Oh my god. Fucking bums.
So what do you think about Urban Myers?
What the fuck?
So what do you think about Urban Myers thinking about retirement already?
I mean, hey.
I think he should have never took the job in the first place. Honestly.
If you already thinking about it, my nigga, go on, get out of here. Don't leave Trevor up to that. I need to see, because sometimes you be saying I need to see that shit official.
Listen. I heard this from Michael K.
But once again, Michael K is another one who don't really have no source, but then will just be saying what he thinks.
No, this is cited shit. You don't listen to the Michael K show enough,
dog. Do you not understand that if Urban Meyer was considering retirement, I got Bleacher Report and ESPN, the same network that Michael K does his radio show on. I have the notifications on. So if Urban Meyer was considering retirement and Michael K went on his show and said that, the notification would have came to my phone.
Oh, it's gonna take some time.
It's not gonna take time.
No, because he literally broke it on the show.
Michael K's show is what, from 1 to 4, right?
No, his show was from 3 to 6.
But as soon as he's not, what I'm saying, he's not getting that out of nowhere.
No, he broke it. No, that's something that he got. He didn't get that from ESPN. It's something that came.
But he said it on an ESPN platform.
So
around 3 to 6.
ESPN,
it is now 9.
ESPN doesn't run with everything their radio hosts say. You know how many times I hear them say shit that they don't put out yet?
Talon. It's NFL season. It's week 1.
If
saying, that man goes on his radio show from 3 to 7.
So what
and says Urban Meyer is considering retirement.
Is that
2 hours after that radio show done? And how I have these notifications set up?
Come out this week. Because they're gonna give it. They're gonna
now
ESPN is gonna take more.
Now I'm mad.
No,
I have
because
to waste my time searching this shit.
The people that you want to put out a notification on ESPN, they're gonna play that. They're gonna play it a little too close to the vest before they put it out on their official platforms. They'll allow you to say whatever you need to say on the radio, but before they put on the official platforms, they're gonna do more digging.
My thing is,
but it's gonna pop up.
Big enough personality to where if he says something like that, there's gonna be a notification on it.
What's that?
So don't worry, you'll hear it drop sometime this week.
No, I won't.
Yes, you will.
I will not.
Don't worry.
I will not.
I've made you eat these words before.
No, I will not hear nothing like that. Cause one thing for sure, if Urban Meyer is really already considering retirement, you can never recover from that. You can never. So for one, the type of dude that he is, his pride won't let him come out this early and say he's considering retirement. Not at all.
I hope not.
Not at all. So
like I said,
so that report for right now, I'm gonna have to take and wipe my ass with it.
Listen, I'm still holding on to that a little bit and waiting to hear more development because basically we still gonna have to hear more development.
Oh, that's Lamar throwing touchdowns. Oh, the fantasy team is lit.
Did he get it? Where's Le'Veon Bell?
He's on the bench, not playing.
Not yet?
Not even dressed.
Not yet?
Woo! Lamar! Hold it down, baby! Mark, I'm coming for you.
Okay, fellas. The weekend passed.
Oh, yeah.
You know what we're about. You know what we have reserved for Wednesday, what we're not going to get into. What passed over the weekend that caught you guys' eye as we head out on the podcast?
Anything?
Yeah.
Anything? Wow. Hold on. I have to be sure. I gotta be sure before I say exactly what I want to say.
Mark, did you also hear me? Mark ain't paying attention. I'm gonna go ahead and mute you, Mark. You could get yourself unmuted when you get back.
When you get your shit together. You go first, B.
No.
I want to make sure
I'm ending the podcast, so there's nothing for me to go first on. Like, so I'm basically about to wrap up. I'm asking you guys if there's anything that you found interesting over the weekend before I end the podcast. Give you guys a little moment to go ahead and get your little soliloquy on.
Just want to make sure if this is the topic I want to go down, because I don't need to talk about Russell Wilson. We already know what that's about.
And I don't have him scheduled. I don't even think I have him scheduled to be talked about on Wednesday because he's Russell Wilson.
Browns, Chiefs, and talked about that enough. Daniel Jones' fumble problems. We talked about that on Wednesday. Blah blah blah.
So while he determines if he has anything that
no, I have. So I just want to make sure.
I'm gonna assume that he has.
No, I have something.
So something
I
just
want to make sure.
Let's
I just want to make sure if it's the only thing I need to say.
Then run your first thing.
Listen. Don't rush me,
then.
man. You literally brought something that I did not expect you to bring.
Okay, then. So let me continue buying you time while he waits and decides to determine if he found anything interesting from this weekend. I'll go ahead and I'll continue to talk because just hearing you, man, you just didn't think about this, and they just did that.
Can you carry on instead of trying to talk shit?
Well, that's what I was trying to do.
So carry on
before you decided to cut me off erroneously again. What's going on? The good, the bad. Oh, you're another Cowboys fan, aren't you? You're a Cowboys fan, if I'm not mistaken.
Who cares? That game was 5 days ago. That game was dead and gone.
Well,
just like their chances.
The Cowboys' chance aren't gone, actually. The Cowboys have the best chance to win their division.
Oh, whoop-de-freaking do.
Well, you talk about chances.
Actually, Philly.
You said they have no chances.
I already put.
1-0.
Yeah, I already put my bet for Philly to win that division last Monday.
What were the odds on that one?
I win $4,000 if they win that division.
On how much of a bet?
I placed $100.
Is that shit still open? Yo, I'm about to drop 50 on that bitch. I don't care if I'm only gonna make 1,000 off of it after this week. Yo, she.
I said Philly plus 4,000. Said,
oh, listen.
Let me take that shit because I'm not confident in none of these other teams.
For real,
I know. I said the Giants at the beginning, but that damn offensive line and like I said, I'm gonna rip them niggas to shreds on Wednesday.
But no,
like I said, Washington, people don't repeat in that division. Fucking Fitzpatrick's already hurt, and
that's why I said that. That's why I said the Cowboys. The Cowboys is their division to lose. The Cowboys should literally back into the first place.
But
so if Philly beats them, it's an indictment on Dallas. Like it's Dallas like fucking up again.
Indictment on them, but Jalen Hurts solidifying that QB1.
Shit, I'm about to get my.
That is what I'm about to talk about. Jalen fucking Hurts. They talk about can't throw, blah 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 blah. Oh, we need to be on the market for Deshaun Watson or any other quarterback. Shut the fuck up and let Jalen do his thing. Have some confidence in the nigga. I'm like, yo, they keep counting this man out. I've seen this man lose his job at Alabama in the championship game, stay throughout the whole year, the next following year, have to come in and save the day SEC championship game. Didn't pout, didn't nothing. Transferred over to Oklahoma and was a Heisman candidate. And then once again on the bench, never pout, never wavered, always steady. Good call. This karma thing we talk about, dog. It doesn't always have to be bad. There's good karma too. The good always win in the end. That nigga right there is gonna win in terms of his professional, in life period, but in terms of professional quarterback, the amount of things that he's done so far, that's not gonna go to waste. Life don't work like that. That he's gonna hold it down for Philly, and I'm telling you right now, especially after I put this bet in, they're gonna be a factor in this division, especially, of course, against this Atlanta sorry ass defense, but Atlanta sorry ass defense, they go out there and bust them 32-6. What you supposed to do? So give him credit. And plus, I watched some of those throws he made. He looked comfortable. He looked calm. He didn't look rushed
in the pocket or on the run.
Exactly.
But you know what though? He's always been poised like that on the run. And I hope I'm not cutting you off.
No, you're not.
Okay, you saying this like as I talked about.
Yo, real quick.
How you gonna cut Tyler?
Is it okay?
Yeah, real quick on Hurts.
No,
man,
the character that man has, bro. I
I'm
give it to
saying,
him, man.
I'm saying,
You know what I'm saying? Yo, from going from Alabama, getting
Busy first.
getting
He-
sacked. Yeah, getting
but
busy.
he was
then
working.
got
He was
sacked,
working though.
and then
Because he won them a national championship first.
No. He got them 2 there. Then Deshaun Watson beat them. That was the time they beat them. The next year, they're killing everybody again. But he's not as dynamic throwing the ball, which is why Saban ended up putting Tua in the national championship, and we saw how that ended out. Then the next year, he sits. Tua's not only sticking up the joint in the SEC championship game, he gets hurt. He comes in, saves the day. Like,
That's what it was. One won the championship for one, and the other one won the championship for the other. Some shit like that, right?
basically.
Yeah.
But, like, he didn't win the big championship. He won the SEC championship. But, I mean, fuck that. He has 3 SEC championships.
But also,
3.
like I said,
3.
one of the things that, and I've always loved me some Jalen Hurts, and I told people, like, it's a weird thing to compare, but
The nigga always
there's
steady,
little
man.
intangibles that you have to account for. He went to 2 different franchises and balled out. Technically,
Oh.
2 different teams, right, and balled out.
Yes, especially Oklahoma. My God.
And this is why I favor him, right? And this is one of the reasons why I
If
favor
it
him
wasn't for Joe Burrow, he would have won that thing.
over
that
Tua.
Heisman.
Over Tua got a tongue twister. This is why I kind of favor him, and it's because Tua got a tongue twister. Was one system, one coach. That's it. You know what I mean? La 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 la. Came in, whatever. And
But at
also,
least he produced.
he still he did produce, but there's also something to say about changing.
You measure a man by distance traveled.
Yeah. So
Shout out Michael Irvin.
when I also think about being NFL ready, when you get to the NFL, how often is it that a rookie quarterback may have 2 different offensive coordinators or 2 different head coaches within the first 4 years? It's very likely. It's actually one of the things that they say is hard for them to overcome. Well, you put in a quarterback now that just did that in college and overcame it there. And now you put him in the NFL where things are more shaky. You know, he's already used to inconsistency and being consistent in it. Because if you've ever heard from anybody successful,
Consistent in inconsistency.
have you ever heard from anybody successful, anybody that's made millions or billions? One of the things that you have to do is be comfortable being uncomfortable. And learning how to be consistent when everything else around you is inconsistent. So basically, learning how to be how to be steady in chaos is a tool, is a weapon, which I still think to this day, from the moment that they were drafted, that he had over Tua got a tongue twister. And I still think that to this day. Like, so when I see this Philly victory, am I shocked? Nah. Especially when you're talking about over Atlanta. Like, I'm the fool here. Like, you know what they say? Fool me once, shame on me. Or fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, can't be fooled again. Fool me 3 times, fuck the peace sign, pull the chopper, let it rain on you. You know, like I'm there now. Like, I should have been open up the chopper and let it rain on Atlanta, but no. Mark, how did we allow ourselves to be talked into picking Atlanta?
how we talked ourselves into that pick.
We knew, and we even said we knew better. But Atlanta is so damn talented that I don't care. They shouldn't lose these games. But how? How did we talk ourselves into that? And we knew better, because we even said we knew better, and we still went against it. And you know what's funny too? Every other time during last week when I felt like that, I changed my pick. And I was right. This time I was like, let's go pick the fucking Dirty Birds, who's been doing this to us consistently for almost 2.5 years now. How did we do this? Mark. See, he's speechless. He is absolutely and utterly speechless. Welcome to the podcast. Remember, the Blue Chew Getting hotline is open. And again, it's not the fact that you lose, it's how you lose. And that's always Atlanta's problem, right? Is how they keep going down. How they keep losing games. And it's almost like I said this about, who did I say this about? About Tito Ortiz earlier. And I think this is the same thing about Atlanta. It's almost like they're traumatized. Right? Like you're traumatized from their Super Bowl run. That once they took that bad loss there, it's almost like they did it. It's almost like they lost all ability to hold on to leads or to stick into games or to win games that they should. Right? Like it's like they can't get right. Like from the moment they lost that Super Bowl, it's like they snapped in a bad way. Like I said, that's why I guess they call it like trauma. They got traumatized. And they just can't win when they're supposed to. They can't get right. Like I said this about like Tito Ortiz. Like I think he got traumatized from the overhand right. Every time he gets hit with an overhand right, he automatically crumbles. You know? Like I think they're that kind of trauma. like traumatized. Was that the only one you had, or you had another one for us?
I mean, the other one really don't matter because I mean, like I said,
who's the other one?
Steelers, and they supposed to be ass. So, but want to know whatever.
Well, let me see. What was I gonna? Oh, that's Pittsburgh and Buffalo. I was gonna. Yeah, we gonna get into them on Wednesday. We know we do all homers on Wednesday. We do all home.
I won't have too much to say because, like I said, Steelers suck. So
what do I think about the Browns? That's a good question. And don't forget that the Blue Chew
the Browns are gonna brown.
That the Blue Chew getting hotlines are open. Well, why don't you tell them how you feel about the Browns?
Listen, I like they're in my division, but I have respect for them. I do. But that game yesterday, I said this earlier. That game yesterday is why the Chiefs are the Chiefs and the Browns are the Browns. Watch that game and how it unfolded from start to finish, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. Money plays that you need. What did the Chiefs do? Mahomes roll out, throw that shit up. Tyreek comes down with it, going in for a touchdown. Very next drive, 3 and out. Your punter fumbles the ball. How? This is something fucking routine. Dropping the ball like that. What did the Chiefs do? Not only did they get the ball right there, they score another touchdown. Right then and there. There's levels to this shit. And what yesterday showed that as much of a contender that we think Cleveland is, they still not on Kansas City's level. They had that. There was no business for Kansas City to win that game. But at the end of the day, even when Cleveland had that lead, let's be real. Did anybody really believe that game was in doubt? All you was doing it was like the Warriors when they had their run. If they were down big, you were just waiting. You were just waiting for the run. You were waiting for that quick 15-16-0 run that they hit you with that just left you dazed. That's what Kansas City did yesterday.
He asked, what is their problem overall as well?
What's the Browns' problem overall? Ooh, not seizing the moment. They don't. That's the problem. They don't have flaws like that. Everywhere you look, they're solid. Cause I think Baker Mayfield is legit. I think he's solid. I definitely think he's gonna earn his money. But yesterday was a prime example of him being able to show why I'm worth my money. And he played a great game. His numbers were solid. 21 of 28, 321. But that interception, that interception is not even the problem I have with him because he honestly wanted to throw the ball out of bounds. And at the same time he's trying to load up and throw it out of bounds, somebody catches him at his feet and it's too late. The throw that I had an issue with was when he had a nice corner route for Anthony Schwartz and he underthrew it to where a defender could get it. He puts that on the money, especially with Schwartz speed. I saw Anthony Schwartz in college at Auburn. That nigga has four. When I say 4.2, I'm talking like 4.21, borderline 4.1 speed. You hit him on the money. He could be hitting his head on the goalpost with that throw. And then there were a couple others that I'm like, But like, you know, you got an opportunity to seize the moment. You got to seize it. Your offensive line has to be prepared to where a defender can't get to your legs and trip you up like that. That's right now. That's the Browns' moment. That's the Browns' problem. They have an issue with seizing the moment. It was evident when they lost that playoff game against the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes left that game mid-third quarter. You had a quarter and a half with no Patrick Mahomes, and you couldn't close the deal.
Talk to him.
You got to. So their problem right now is against the big teams, against the teams that matter, the teams that are going to be standing in your way come postseason time. You got to seize the damn moment. If you can't seize the moment, the Browns could go out there and win the division, go 14-3, 15-2, and whatnot. 1 seed in the playoffs or 2 seed, whatever. You know good and damn well in that first home playoff game, you're not going to have no confidence in them whatsoever. You know that. Why? Because the Browns have an issue of seizing the moment. That's their problem. Everything else is solid. Quarterback play, running backs, they're too deep in the running back. They got 2 bona fide tight ends. And then of course you got when the tandem is healthy, Odell and Jarvis, unbelievable. And then they still have other receivers behind that, from Schwartz to Peoples-Jones and whatnot. That's solid defensively. Clowney and Garrett on the line with the secondary. Come on now, they're solid. They're solid. They should be kicking. Somebody was talking about moral victories for yesterday. Absolutely not, because you're trying to be on Kansas City's level. You're trying to surpass them, and you just lost to them in the playoffs. This was the game for you to take. This was the game for you to make a statement, and you were making that statement. But when it came to clutch time, Kansas, like I said, the Chiefs showed why they're the Chiefs, and the Browns showed why they're the Browns.
Sure.
Would have been safe to say that if the Chiefs, not the Chiefs, but the Browns were playing most other teams, like if they had played Atlanta,
oh,
right?
murder,
then they probably would have won that game most likely.
Murder. Had they been playing the Bills, see, and here's the problem with the Bills.
I don't know if they could have beat the Bills, but
I don't know if they would have beat them. But here's the problem with the Bills.
It would have been a game like this.
What I'm saying about the Bills, just real quick though, the Bills' problem, they're too arrogant. Mainly their quarterback. The way they played yesterday, that was a team that was full of themselves.
Yeah, too cool for school.
Too cool for school.
Like,
they came in there like Dipset on Versus.
Like they thought, oh, we've been here, we got this now.
Exactly.
Let's go out here and start running through these motherfuckers until we get to the Super.
And then it's like, the football gods humble, like, bitch, you just got here.
Straight punched in the face.
You just got here. Last year was your first. Josh Allen, niggas was talking about if you were even a bona fide quarterback beginning of last year. Okay? You just got here. All right?
So what they do? They schemed. They doubled down on Stephon Diggs. They took him out. They took him out the game, and it was like go past the other guys.
Bro. Josh Allen played like he was gunning for MVP yesterday. That's why they lost.
Oh, like he was trying to win MVP on the first game?
On the first game of the year. That's why, dude, there were throws that I'm watching from the game. I'm like, yo, he doesn't see the check down right here. If he would have saw the check down had like an easy 15, 20 yards right here. We had safeties that were playing 20 yards back to stop the deep ball, and he was still chucking it deep. That's on him and the coordinator. The coordinator wanted to spread niggas out and think that they could have somebody who would bite or some shit.
Let me see if we can get Mark's take on this real quick. Mark, how do you feel about the Cleveland Browns?
I kind of kind of a little hater on them, man. Just a little bit of hate. I just don't like the all the hype they getting. You know, that's why I was pretty glad. Like when they started out and they were beating KC, and I'm like, oh shit, you know how much shit they gonna be talking tomorrow if they beat KC. Come on, KC, let's get it. All of a sudden, KC came back, and all of a sudden it was in Baker's hand, and I'm like, oh shit. You know what? When I was watching the Cowboys against Tampa, and they left a minute and something for Tampa,
Yeah.
fuck.
You already,
You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
you already
But
knew
when-
what time it
when
was.
KC
You already knew.
Yeah. So when Baker had this
Wait,
the time, I said, oh, this is
another
nothing.
one, another one,
They
another
lost.
one. Lineman.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't even like, yo, I wasn't even worried. Not even
He
a little
grabbed
bit.
his knee right
Maybe
away.
a little bit. You know, I was just surprised that KC gave the ball back. Honestly, to tell you the truth, I was most surprised about that KC ended up kicking it back to the Browns. Then actually, freaking them actually fucking the Browns actually getting the ball. I'm like, I never heard Baker time before. Ain't no Baker time.
Well, that's because
Shit.
Baker set timers. Like they don't, like they usually wait for shit to go off more than anything else. Like so, let me get into Good's
But
question.
I'm saying, were you worried?
No, I wasn't worried, but
Exactly.
yeah, I'm gonna get into Good's question a little bit. How do I feel about Cleveland? About your Browns? I like them. This game, I feel like if they were
Who
playing
you talking to, your Browns?
I'm talking to one of our callers.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say.
I said Goods, right? I like your Browns. Like I thought this game was a good game for them. Nobody really expected them to beat Kansas City. I thought exactly how it played out is how most people thought would happen. Is that they'll have a good game against them, but they'll lose. And I think that's what most people. I think that's where most people expected the game to go. Now, I did say something earlier, but how they look and how they played makes this Baltimore game tonight a little bit more interesting to me, because now it makes me, because now when you see one when you see Pittsburgh take care of Buffalo the way that they did, then you're like, damn, I wonder how the next team is gonna look. And then you see Kansas City barely beat Cleveland. You see Cleveland hold up, and you're like, damn, I want to see how Baltimore looks. So because of how all the other teams look, it makes you want to watch the other team in the division to see how they look, because you're all comparing them all to each other to see who's gonna be the best one. Right, to try to figure out who's going to be the best one. I think after this week, like we figure, okay, Pittsburgh is really looking the truth. Now we're trying to figure out who's going to be that number 2. Whether it's going to be Baltimore or it's going to be Cleveland. And I think Cleveland is also trying to figure out themselves too, where exactly do they fit in this division. So that's the reason why I can see them taking how they can take something positive from a close loss, because they're like, okay, we had a shootout with the champs. And there's a lot of ways that they can positively twist this, and I can see if you're a Browns fan, how you can positively twist this. Listen, I just heard the Cowboys do this. The Cowboys fans do this for Tampa Bay. Like they talked about how great this was for them and how they look at this, but
Man, stop it.
stop what? What I do?
What these moral victories? You sound like fucking losers. Browns fans, that's another thing. You want your team to get to the next level? Stop with these fucking moral victories. You gotta go out there and do it. Cowboys fans, you want these, you stop the shit with the moral victories. Stop it. You hung in there with the champs. So what? You had a lead. You had the game in control. Defense, make a stop.
Man. It was different.
It was different.
It was different.
You see the bullshit I'm talking
it was
about?
different
You see the bullshit I'm talking about? It was different.
because-
How?
He actually is right. It is different because actually
How the fuck is he right?
no, there is no difference, because both teams aren't gonna do shit in the playoffs. Even if they play this way, they end up losing in the first round.
Field goal kickers missing kicks. Quarterbacks taking 15-yard sacks at the most inopportune time when you're already in field goal range. Come on now. That's not winning football.
But
But you want to take moral victories. Stop it.
see, and
Stop
See,
it.
different, bro.
Cleveland's trying to gauge themselves
Because-
against the best.
They trying to talk themselves into looking at the bright side, and it's sad. You don't get no
difference
Super
is
Bowl. This is why
the
you have a
Browns-
Super Bowl drought.
the Browns
This is why you have a Super
were
Bowl drought.
expecting to win.
And guys, we got about
Browns
10
were
seconds left in the
expecting to
show.
win. They could have won. That's the difference. The Browns were expecting to win. The Cowboys,
We're
they just
expecting
wanted
to win.
not to get blown out. See what I'm saying? They were like, oh, Tampa's gonna blow out the Cowboys.
Oh God.
So
T
that's
in
the
the show.
difference. The
In the
Browns
show.
are gonna beat
In the show.
KC.
In the show. In the show. In the show. I'm not interested in hearing moral victories.
That's exactly
Sorry,
that's
B.
exactly how it went down.
I
In
tried.
the show.
That's how it's different.
Exactly. Sorry, B.
Why? Because you can't handle the truth.
If in the world couldn't
What
keep me
truth?
contained.
An L is an L.
No lag.
You can't handle the truth.
No lag.
That's
You can't handle the truth.
why
Gonna
y'all been
share
trying to
my
get back to
talents
the
with
Super Bowl since
Podbean Live.
'95. That mentality right there.
Always knew I was
Everything's a moral victory.
You know what I'm saying?
Just
Come
a
on
lot.
now.
8-8 season, we were halfway there.
You know we gonna get back there next year.
Gabbers.
Stop it, man.
Well,
Yo, we
maybe
talking about
not the last.
talking about the difference of
Munch
how
got good mic skills.
Browns and KC were.
New.
Like you ain't.
Improved
Were you surprised that
my
KC was actually losing in the beginning?
podcaster.
Absolutely. Like that? Yes.
It's okay, yeah, because these teams normally start off slow for some odd reason.
Last
It's like they
call
need
for
to be down early to get the juices pumping and
bars
going.
closing.
You know what I mean? In the first game, like
Sun's out.
for, I don't know why,
Heard the casino got a buffet breakfast.
but I also expect them to come back,
Don't wanna go far.
even when they go down.
Wild night. Tired, B. Tired.
All I'm saying, you gotta lead.
Uh-oh.
Gotta hold it down.
Sports, and we are officially into bonus time. Anything heard from this point out and will not be on the podcast when I reshare it.
Mark,
Or
you
re-air
got,
it.
KJ's a crybaby.
Mark, you gotta chill out.
Listen, I was out of time anyway.
Wait.
It's been 3 hours.
Wait, I'm a crybaby, but you out here making justifications for your team losing, making moral victories for your team.
That's it, man. No, that's how you taking it. That's not what I was saying. See, you gotta listen to what I was saying. I wasn't saying that. I wasn't saying that at all. I was saying the difference of how the losses were. The losses were, I mean, the not the losses, the fucking anticipation of the games was like, yo, like you expected the Browns to beat KC, and you expected Tampa to blow out the Cowboys. You know what I'm saying? So when the Cowboys played well, they played well.
But here's the thing, we knew the Cowboys were hanging in the game, but here's the thing, Mark.
But before it.
No,
Before-
fuck before.
Motherfuckers are favoring. Look, all right, put it this way. Motherfuckers bet. Everybody, like the bets on Browns and KC were like split.
Mark.
The bets for Tampa and Dallas was all Tampa.
Mark.
That's what I'm saying.
Mark. How long did it take you to realize that game was that Cowboys Buccaneers game was going to be a good game to watch?
Everybody was talking about blowout. They're gonna lose by 3
How
touchdowns.
you ignore my question? How long did it take you to realize that game was going to be a good game throughout? How long did it take you to realize that?
To realize it when I saw it when it came out. When I right from the beginning, right when I saw it.
Mark,
We played Tampa first game.
Mark,
Boom.
you're okay. So
You know,
okay. So since we're bonus real, couple things, right? Because I've been wanting to interject so I can like tell you you're wrong for a minute. The expectations were the same. Nobody gave Cleveland a chance, and nobody gave Dallas a chance. Everybody thought Tampa Bay was gonna beat Dallas. It was built that way by the odd makers, and that's how most people thought. Most people thought Kansas City was gonna beat Cleveland, and it was the odd makers. Now, I did have to go back and check because I could have sworn I knew both of them was a blowout, and it was something that was weird because the reason why I knew that Dallas was at least we talk about Vegas odds, right, of being a blowout. When 90% of the money goes in one direction, you go the other way. That's all I know about betting. So 90% of the money was on
Tampa 9.5.
Tampa to what? I thought 8.5, 9.5. I was like, yeah, that's not gonna happen. Dallas will cover. They're gonna lose, but they're gonna cover. Because it's just how football is built.
Man, all I know is
Kansas City's and Browns thing was 7.5. You heard me, Mark? Mark.
I heard you.
Yeah, the spread was wait, hold on, wait.
I got guess.
Oh yeah, okay, my bad. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, so the spread was 7.5. So yeah, they were expecting that to be a blowout too.
But like it didn't. From watching the Bucks Cowboys, it didn't take me long to realize that this was going to be
5.5.
Well, but
7.5 was for the over under total points.
But for the Bucks Cowboys game, it didn't take me long to realize that this was going to be a much better game than people thought. It didn't take me long. Just from watching how the Cowboys weren't backing down, mainly the offense. And then once the defense started to come alive and start getting turnovers, shit. From that point there, you scratch out the odds and what they thought, because that just because now it's about what's going on between the lines. All I know is that defense took the ball away 4 times. 4.
Mm-hmm.
4 times and still lost.
There's
no moral victories on that. You got kickers missing kicks. You got, like I said, inopportune sacks at the worst time.
Because also
you had some drops by receivers. There's no moral victories in that when you're beating yourself.
Because 4 turnovers usually means that 90% of the times that you win the game.
Win.
Damn near.
You
over 90%
win.
of the time.
It
don't matter who you play.
If you're
like
that
actually, if Kansas City loses that game, you say, well, we come on here today and we like, well, you know how you lose that game? Anytime you turn over the ball 4 times, you're expected to lose. You can't win.
I mean, if Tampa loses that game.
No. I'm just saying, not Tampa. I'm talking about. Wait, you talking about Tampa?
Yeah, Tampa turned the ball over 4 times.
Oh. Talking about Dallas. Oh, sorry, we talking about Dallas and Tampa. My bad. Tripping. Yeah. But my fault. We got cross here. But that's what you say though. Like if any quarterback turns it over 4 times, when we talk about them the next day, and if they lost, we're like, well, that's what happens, because four turnovers damn near guarantees you a L. You shouldn't win after 4 losses. 4 turnovers. But guess what? A couple of rare times. You know it's odd too. The guy that did it is the guy that's breaking all these fucking outliers. I'm done. I'm getting out of here. Pal Bean, you guys have a good night. Y'all just left me with a bad taste in my mouth. How you doing, Paul? Bonus reel.
Paul, you still
Oh
there?
shit, that's right. Bonus reel. I can turn this game up.
Paul.
Max and Dumb. Thank you for joining the podcast. We basically wrapped up the whole entire sports podcast. Anything that you hear now is not being used on the official audio that we will be sharing later. But if you have any sports questions or anything that you want to talk about, hit us up. You can either type your questions below, or you can call us on the Blue Chew Get In hotline. Yes, folks, we have a sponsor with Blue Chew. All you have to do is blew it and chew it. Yes, with the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis. It's one opportunity that you just don't want to miss. She's going to love how you come through like a champ when you Blue Chew in advance. And if you use my special promo code of VLFH, that's Victor Lima Fox Hotel, VLFH, you'll be able to get your first order of Blue Chew for free. You're welcome. Stay mighty, my friends.
MyT.
Oh man, this drink is good. This one is better than the first one I made.
MyT.
Actually, shit. It's already 9:48. I gotta get to bed. I gotta. Wait. Today's Monday. I'm over here thinking today is fucking Wednesday and shit. Cause, let's see here. I gotta job at 6:30 tomorrow. Okay, that's not that bad. I thought cause I got a couple of days where I'm working at like 4:15 and shit like that. That's gonna be a new one. I gotta.
Fitzpatrick already got hurt. Lord.
Yo, So for the few people that are here, and KJ wasn't here when I said this, how crazy is that, right? That he got hurt the first game. And the reason I say it's crazy because if you know football patterns or his career patterns, because he had a good year last year, most people are expecting him to not make it through the like. I don't even want to say. I'm gonna reword it because of what happened to him, right? You didn't expect.
I didn't expect him to get hurt.
Exactly. You didn't. But because of how well he did last year, and because of his history, you didn't expect him to be the starting quarterback through the whole entire season this season. You thought he was probably gonna wet the bed. He was gonna have his pattern bad year, and no longer be that starting quarterback. But who knew in the first quarter that the old man would break his hip? That
Heineken got to come in and save the what the fuck team.
I call him Heineken too.
Heineken.
I was like, I can't say that shit. I'm calling him Heineken.
Heineken. All you missing is the N and your Heineken. That is one time where I definitely condone one of your fucking up somebody's name purposely. Like, nigga, I see your name, I think Heineken right away.
Listen, I and even as big as I am, and I give nicknames because I'm horrible. I have a horrible memory, but nicknames just help me remember. And then eventually, like, I'll remember your name after the nickname. Eventually,
if you make it worth memorable,
like, I'll end up remembering your name eventually. But I'll always go to like calling you like, oh my god, like, where did we meet? Oh, it was here on the podcast. We went to somebody named Hayes. No, it wasn't here on the podcast. It was that night of the podcast. Oh, when we ran into that dude named Hazel.
That nice individual.
That shit was funny. So even that story, he was like, yo, my name is Hazen or whatever. And you heard his name properly. But me and Darnell heard something completely different. I'm like, and automatically, me and Darnell, we flash back and we start having PTS moments from like the Kings of Comedy special. Like, yo, we ain't calling another grown man delicious. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck you mean your name is Hazel? Like, I'm not calling you your eye color, B.
Exactly.
Like,
he said that shit, and I was like, wait, my nigga.
And he said his name was Hazen. I'm like, oh, okay. And then, no doubt, when he leaves, I'm like, you know what? Because I'm also fucking retarded. I'm like, all right, Hazel. Because I don't give two shits. Yeah, you just catching us rambling at this point.
He can't go. Oh.
That's what about dudes. Like it's really weird. Like Lewis said he'll try. He never made it to the podcast.
Of course not.
He said he'll try, but he never made it.
Yeah, I was gonna go, and then I called up. My server called me up and was like, "Oh, are you taking off this week too?"
Wait, you're back at work?
Wait a minute, am I on the schedule?
Wait, you're back at work already? How are you back at work? What?
Yeah.
He got his negative test yesterday.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was negative.
I was like, it ain't been 2 weeks. Like.
Nah, because I took those shots. So since I took those shots, I think it
just let you know, we'll
put it out.
We'll see you we'll see you in studio when we get back to Sharky's. We gonna keep.
Yeah, I was trying to go today. I was gonna go today if I didn't have to work.
We're gonna keep you away for a little while longer.
Fuck you. Nah, I'm saying.
It's the hater for me.
And I fucking
Yo, Hawkins balled for me, bro. I was so mad I couldn't get Kyler Murray on my squad, but I was really happy I got Jameis Winston though, and Matthew Stafford. God.
Yo, it's funny because
I remember that play. Actually, I remember seeing that play.
Speed.
Yo, this is the worst draft I ever had in my whole entire life, yo.
Yo, I had a bad draft. Like, you understand, like, my quarterbacks are solid, my wide receivers are solid, my running backs are shit.
20th year remembrance of 9/11 on everyone's mind. Certainly in New York. Giants hosting.
Because I had the last pick in the first round. Actually, no, I had the last pick in the first round. I know I had the last pick. So basically, I had the last pick of the draft. By the time I even went around the first time, there was no running backs left that were dynamic.
Jalen.
That's the reason why I grabbed the first 2 wide receivers off the board. And then fucking Stephon Diggs. I knew I shouldn't have picked Stephon Diggs.
It's one game. Chill out.
He gonna allow it. Whatever. They got tape on him now.
You Stephon Diggs been in this league 7 goddamn years.
You're right.
Fuck out of here with that shit.
No worry, listen, I'm gonna really panic on Wednesday. You got to bring me back down, cause I'm gonna forget all of this shit on Wednesday.
You are over. You need to. You know what you need to be on? You need to be on NFL Live on Mondays. Overreaction Monday.
You're right. I do need to be on TV.
My shit.
I said you need to be on NFL Live. Overreaction Monday had a.
Count 'em.
Listen, that's on
Count 'em.
television. And all I heard is I need to be on TV.
My nigga. 3 running backs I had. All hurt, bro. Are you fucking kidding me right now?
That sounds like
3
a
running
what
backs.
problem to me.
Damn, who did you have?
This is some bullshit. I had Gus hurt.
Okay.
Moss hurt.
Moss.
Fucking Mustard hurt.
Oh yeah, Mostert did.
Mustard. Oh damn. Sounds like he's a must sit.
Bro. He's out for 8 weeks.
Ooh,
These niggas out for 8 weeks, bro. I'm like, 8 weeks? Are you fucking almost half a season? Like,
Damn.
what the fuck?
Don't sweat the
It's
technique.
some bullshit.
Right. Hey, just make sure your other running back stays healthy. That's the most important one to you.
What other one? Who's
Oh,
the
yeah,
other
Zach.
one? Oh, Zeke.
Zach.
Oh damn.
Yeah, Zeke.
Yo, his whole running back.
And
Yo,
Yo.
his whole running back.
Son,
His whole running back
Garbage.
life is on the legs and the back of a Zeke. Damn. Oh,
Lord
bendito.
have his mercy.
That's not yo.
Exactly.
Bonus reel. Bonus reel. Bonus reel.
Fucking
Bonus
exactly.
reel. Doing our fantasy talk. Yeah, we talk about our fantasy. I don't know why other people like this. They feel like it's taboo to talk about their fantasy. Like nobody was like, yeah, like fuck you guys.
All I know is
Get in
Antonio
your fucking
Brown.
feelings.
Antonio Brown has let people know that he's official once again.
He is officially back, a #1 wide receiver.
I'm so glad that nigga is my receiver.
Oh, that was you that picked. I thought I was Fluffy that picked him.
That
up.
was me.
I
I
hate you.
was waiting.
I hate you.
Love you too, dog.
Fucking bullshit.
Can't believe you took that monster.
That's it. Let's
You
walk
damn right I
outside.
took that monster.
Take him off.
Because I wish he was back on my team, damn it.
That's why you got him.
You
You
damn
over,
right.
you over here like that Wolverine meme, looking
damn
like pictures
right.
of Jean Grey and shit like that.
You
over here
damn
with
right. I'm
looking
like,
at Beverly
damn it.
with Antonio Brown.
Instead here I'm stuck with Juju. With the nigga who wanna do TikToks and shit.
That's your juju. Hey, you traded in somebody that gives you bad publicity, that gives you current publicity.
Fuck that. Give me the bad publicity.
He
At
gives-
least, at least the bad publicity was out here producing one of the greatest receivers of all time.
Damn, he really looked like the old him. He looked like the old Kanye. He looked like the old Kanye. I was really upset. I'm like, damn, he out here looking like the old Kanye.
My nigga AB was working.
This nigga had five receptions and 420 yards. Like
It was the bomb
Like, yo.
touchdown. The bomb just dropped right there. I said, yes,
No.
AB,
No.
fantasy, let's
Yo.
go.
balls. With,
I'm so happy I can root for Antonio Brown.
yo, can I tell you this? Right, balls, and I really need to save this for next week. And I should have said this already, right? But
man.
balls were falling in his hand the same way that your mother used to lay you down in bed at night. They were just like, you remember how your mother used to lay your head on your pillow at night, just used to lay you down to rest. That's how these balls were just falling into his hands. No, you know what I mean? No Odell Beckham Jr. glue needed, nothing.
Just in stride. Just in stride.
in stride.
In stride. You didn't have to break no stride. AB! Listen, I was telling niggas talk about AB, a third receiver. Like, no! After a full offseason, AB, the #1 receiver in Tampa Bay.
Well, he's the third receiver on the depth chart.
Fuck that. Anybody who know football know who the best receiver on Tampa Bay Buccaneers is.
They got 3 guys now that's basically gonna give them 100 yards a game.
All I know is AB is the 1. Mike Evans, you can take 2. Godwin, take 3. Gronk, you handle main tight end duties.
But you know what though? I like him in the 3rd spot because
You can't double him.
your 3rd cornerback can't guard AD on your depth chart.
Your one quarter,
Your one can
one
barely
can't
quarter
guard
him.
AB. Your one
Like
can't
put it this way,
guard him.
it requires a number 1 DB to cover
To
Chris-
have a shot.
to cover Antonio Brown, to cover Mike Evans, and or to cover Chris. Oh my God, win.
And then you still have the tight
And
ends
don't
you
forget
have to
Melo,
worry
because
about.
Melo come in
And then you-
sneak in
and then you still
grab
got
a
Gronk.
kick and-
Well, you
And it's not just him. Yeah, Bray,
Don't
and you
forget
have
about
OJ.
Melo.
but still,
Melo
but
come
still,
in and
you
grab
got,
a
but so you still got
fucking
Gronk, right?
50-yard touchdown.
You got Gronk, who he's so familiar with that Gronk on his 8 targets didn't drop a fucking catch.
And he still got 2 touchdowns.
90 yards and 2 touchdowns. Gronk, who's his red zone safety net, right? Oh, I think Chris got Gronk. That's what it is. I think Chris got Gronk and then you got AD. Okay. You like oh my God, you understand? Gronk is also a guy you can't put a cornerback on, and if you do, it still needs to be a number 1 cornerback like a Darrell Receivers. I've seen this in person.
Gronk?
Yeah.
You put a corner on Gronk, it's over for you.
Well, no, that's
It's
what I said.
over.
That's
It's
what I said. It has
you
to
put
be.
a corner on Gronk. I don't know, basketball, nigga, a box out.
Like I said, when it comes to the end zone, there's no getting around it. But that's what I said. You have to have a Darrell Revis kind of guy. Maybe Jalen Ramsey kind of guy, but you have to have somebody of that nature. Because that's the only guy I've seen hold him down is Darrell Revis.
Hold Gronk? Or
Darrell Revis. Hold down Gronk, yeah. Because he held down everybody. He held down Antonio Gates. He used to switch positions. Or but I don't want to diverge too far from the point I was trying to make. Like you guys are taking me too far left field, right? Like you can't stop. But my main point is that you can't stop Gronk with a cornerback. If you do, he has to be special, super fucking special. Regardless of what his name is, he has to be elite and special. And if you put a linebacker on him, like he's too fast for them. Like I still think, I don't know if he's still too fast for them now. You know what I mean? But that's still the rule of thumb that he's too fast for them, and you still can't guard him with them.
shit, the linebackers don't have the covering skills of the corner, so
So Gronk still has all of those advantages that he's always had, and now he's even wiser, he's even more skilled, and now there's even more weapons around him. So you can't double anybody. You can't double anywhere. It literally has to be either zone or one-on-one all the goddamn time. The moment you bring help, it's
And
not
then
like basketball. The
remember-
moment you bring help
and
from
then-
somebody else, somebody's gonna get torched.
And then let's remember, all these are all the receivers we're talking about here. It's not like we have a dumb quarterback who's throwing them the ball.